Hello everybody, Flamin' Shark, back with another video, and today we're jumping into episode, I believe this is actually 24. I want to say this is 24. I believe this is episode 24 of Fate Stay Night and episode 6 of Unlimited Blade Works. I'm not entirely sure if that's correct or not. It's definitely 23 or 24. I think this is episode 6 though. It's been a little while actually since we did Fate. I'm actually recording this like, I don't know, 32 hours or so before you guys will see it. I've been recording a lot of it. I got a little ahead of it, and you know, I've been recording a bunch of other stuff, just grinding out content for you guys. Been posting daily, as you guys know. But yeah, no, I haven't. It's been a little while, and I actually, you know, was just kind of looking back at the last 2 episodes, despite the fact that I wasn't looking at the numbers of the episodes. Very funny, but yeah, I'm very curious where we go from here, because obviously last time we had the whole incident that led to Ryder's death, the whole Bounded Field incident, which occurred in the Fate route, but obviously it went a lot differently. Caster is way more active in Unlimited Blade Works than she was in Fate, and seemingly was involved in Ryder's kill here. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. We pretty much cast Shinji aside into a background role for this story, which makes sense because he was fairly prominent in the Fate route. He had gotten a fair bit early here in Unlimited Blade Works, but now he's kind of, you know, relegated to the background and really will likely be a big player in Heaven's Feel. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But now as we continue in Unlimited Blade Works with one servant and master out of the game already, it'll be interesting to see, like I said, what we get up to here, and I'm excited. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I didn't really think much about what I wanted to say going into this episode, but it was a good episode. The pacing's been pretty good. Like I said, we'll see how long this day is. If we get a short day, I mean, I might, you know, if we get a short day, we might do 2, but like I said, because I could do a long episode. I don't think I want to do 2 episodes back to back, but, you know, if it works out where we get a short day, I wouldn't be against doing, like, a long episode, but, again, I feel like the days have been pretty solid, and it's kind of my best way to do an episode, and kind of being able to say, hey, you guys go get it a day is fun when it works out. Anyways, I don't recognize this OST, actually. I'm dreaming. Like blood flowing through a thin circuit, I see a memory that I can't reach. Oh, no. I recognize this theme now. Once the piano started going. So, this is interesting, right? Because this feels framed very similarly to... It's so interesting, right? Because he's having the dreams about Archer now instead of Saber in this route. And I don't have the slightest clue who Archer is. I couldn't even begin to guess. But I wonder, and I'm not really well versed in this. Like, I'd recognize a lot of the names, but I don't really know the specifics of them. Certainly not enough to make any guess. But I wonder if Archer is somehow could be like a Knight of the Round Table. As crazy as that would be, right? But dude, obviously that would be weird because, I mean, in theory, you would think that Saber would recognize Archer. But I've gotten the vibe, like, it's felt like Archer knows who Saber is throughout this story. And like, the whole framing of this is very, very similar to the way the Saber stuff was framed. And obviously, you know, it's the whole, like, Shirou seeing dreams of the past, but, like, why would Saber... Like, obviously, there was a lore reason for why Saber would see... Or Shirou would see dreams of Saber. That all made sense to me in Fate. I have no idea why Shirou would be seeing dreams of Archer, but if there's a connection between Archer and Saber, that could potentially bridge that gap. For what did he fight and keep running? He never told anyone his innermost feelings. Or they're just reusing, you know, this is just like an asset thing. Everyone around him saw him as an eccentric. And on top of it all, he wore a mask of stoicism and few words, so others must have believed him ruthless. His objectives were unknown, or at the very least, nobody was informed or found out. See, this description immediately makes it sound like I'm so far off base. And to be fair, Archer does have like a bit of an like Asian aesthetic to him, so as opposed to like a Western aesthetic. So that, like, obviously, like, the yin and yang and stuff, like, it's probably something in, if I had to, like, based on what we've seen, I would say it's most likely something of Chinese folklore, as opposed to, like, British, or at the very least, yeah, I already said that. Even after becoming a hero, burdened with so many things, he never once let his intentions slip, and so nobody was able to grasp his character even at the end. Nobody understood. But this does sound... It's so interesting, though, because even the story is framed very similar to Saber, because nobody understood her until, like, to the end. Like, that all of this can apply to Saber and the backstory about her that we learned in the Fate route. Though he was a convenient hero that saved lives, his motives and ends were left in the dark. Thus, it inevitably came to be that all would feel uneasy by his presence. So he should have claimed at least one such reason. Greed, fame, selfishness, revenge, devotion. A clear reason that would have been so universally understood. Had he but one such thing, this end would not have come. Yeah, it makes it sound like he was betrayed. His reward for success was always betrayal. There you go. This sounds so much like Saber. It's weird, almost. And they're doing this on purpose. But, I mean, obviously we're mirroring those characters, but to what end? The things he picked up sifted through his fingers like sand. He got used to it. Like a fool, he got used to it. From the beginning, his reward... Oh my god. It was not what he received from those he saved, but the act of saving them itself. And that's the thing. We're mirroring Saber, but we're also mirroring Shirou, which is important to note as well. The repetition of it makes me so mad that I want to punch him, but it also makes me want to cry. The reason he was called a hero? His intentions were never revealed to anyone. Those around him never came to know, and even he, the only one who could know, eventually forgot. This all inherently makes me just want to cry. He almost did it for the sake of doing it. On the long, long path from the start to the finish, he miraculously never once strayed from his original purpose, despite no longer knowing what was and was no longer right. And the end comes. A savior is nothing but a nuisance to those who are not saved. That's such a crazy line, but it's also such a Fate line. Like, and I don't really want to, like, fully call this a Nazu line, because I've never read anything Nazu that isn't Fate, but it feels like I said, even it only being one work, I've obviously read a lot of Fate, this just feels like a Nazu line. He understands. Hey, one day I'll be able to actually say that more when I actually read something of his that isn't Fate. One day. Because I'm sure that will happen one day. He understands his own powers and the extent of the world. He accepts there are those that he can and cannot save. And so he wanted those within sight to be happy, at least. Many others despised him, decrying his hypocrisy and narrow values. He had more enemies than allies, and he died abruptly at their hands. So what is seen here is not a location in this world, and now back to the Unlimited Blade Works, whatever. Dude, some of these swords look so cool, by the way. This place is his end. It is nothing other than the illusion he saw on the verge of death, and the only pride he had had within himself. The hero that used this view as his weapon is consumed by his own darkness in his final moment. He arrives at the Hill of Swords. The end of his battle came on a mound with rusted, ownerless blades. Alone after all. Even then, there was nothing to regret if he was able to save everyone within view. Like, again, see, it's like I keep flipping between how much this sounds like Saber and how much this sounds like Shirou. And the idea that Archer is basically a combination of the two is really funny, but hey. He smiles with satisfaction and lets go of the sword. That's why he never had any regrets. His objective had long been fulfilled. From the start, he kept on running with utmost effort, not for himself, but for those who had nothing to do with him. End of dream? Yep. Yep, there it is. And Shirou awakens after another weird Archer past life dream. I rub my heavy eyelids and get up. It's 5:30 a.m. I don't feel sleepy, so I guess I was able to sleep well despite everything. Alright. I grumble while getting out of bed and change into my uniform. I can hear faint breathing if I listen carefully, Saber. Saber's presence is apparent even from the other side of the door. That's good, good. I shake the intrusive thought out of my head and tiptoe out of my room, silly goober. The breakfast table. My expectation that it would be a quiet breakfast considering what happened yesterday.
そこでそのお医者さん、なんて言ったと思う？藤村さんは稀に見る健康体ですから、献血でもしていったらどうですか？わっはっはっはだよ。わっはっはだよ。私だって病人だって言うの。ああ、もう次からあんなところ行かないんだから。
Is overturned by Fujine, who is even more hyper today. This were a horse race, the situation is both the dark horse and also somehow the most likely winner.
あ、お味噌汁おかわり。玉ねぎ抜いてね。
はいよ。で、それから倒れた生徒はいろんな病院に運ばれたって言うけど、みんなすぐに気がついたのか？
そうね。
Yeah, everything's fine with them.
昨日中には回復したはずよ。4回。1年生の子たちはただ眠ってたのと大差なくて、2年生の子たちは記憶が飛んでる子もいたみたい。
Yep.
3年生の子は2階の教室にいた子より大事はなかったけど、1階の教室は。
That was where it was the most intense. Fujine looks down as though it's difficult for her to talk about. I feel bad. All last night, Fujine went to one hospital after another. Classrooms on the first floor, she just saw what kind of condition the 3A and 3B students were in.
ごめん、この話はもうやめる。ともかく、学校はいつも通りなんだろ？うん。けど3年生はもうじき自主登校だし、体調が悪い子は休んでいいことになってる。3年の子たち、ほとんどが休むんじゃないかな。
That seems fair enough. I see. Naruhodo. Then it'll be mainly first years and second years coming to school today.
なあ、藤根。うちの学校でさ、竜道寺の関係者って誰かな？
I mean, Issei is the obvious person, but I think that's where Bro's gonna bark up the wrong tree if he actually starts thinking it might be Issei. But to be fair, we've also seen that, like, Shirou doesn't really assume things of his friends. I say friends in quotes. Like, he even gives Shinji a lot of benefit of the doubt.
Issei君じゃないの？彼、お寺の跡取りでしょ？
だよな。はい、なんでもないから忘れてくれ。
Well, I mean, Issei is one of the top 2 contenders, but I do think he's the number 2. I don't think Issei is Caster's master, but it's possible for sure. I set down my bowl as I look up at the ceiling to think. The only person at our school that has to do with the temple is Issei. But it's too rash to assume so easily that he's a master, and most importantly, I don't think he could be. But that's the thing, I feel like anyone you think of you don't think could be a master, because we don't have any knowledge of anyone at the school that's connected to magic besides Tohsaka, yourself, Shinji, and more indirectly, Sakura.
じゃあ行ってくる。留守番よろしくな、セイバー。
シローも気をつけて。 あの校舎から結界がなくなったとしても、キャスターのマスターがいる以上は油断できません。0時はあと一つだけなのですから、行動には細心の注意を。
Yeah, we're running low on command spells given how theoretically early we are here in the Holy Grail War.
わかってる。キャスターのマスターを見つけたら、まずここに帰ってきて、セイバーに報告するよ。
I want to keep Tohsaka in your back pocket too there, Shirou.
はい。期待に添えるよう、私も魔力を回復させておきましょう。
Yeah, she'll be prepared. Saber sees me off as I leave the gate. Fujine seems to have some things to take care of regarding the incident yesterday, so she finished her breakfast quickly and went to the hospital immediately. Everything at school doesn't look any different even after what happened. It's 7:30 a.m. and the school gate is crowded with students. The students are talking about what happened yesterday and seem to be creating a fuss over it. And in the middle of it all, in front of the school gate, there's Rin. There stands Tohsaka waiting with her arms crossed. That's a funny shot. I have a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling, but I can't sneak past her when she's standing in the middle of the school gate.
Yo, ohayo, Tohsaka. 今日は遅いんだな.
Wow. I stop and greet her on the way to the school building. Oh my god.
つまり、一世が怪しいと思うのよ。
And she just goes immediately to Issei, yep. Whoa. The first thing that came out of her mouth is straight to the point.
怪しいって何がさ。
キャスターのマスター、竜道寺に巣を張ってるキャスターと、竜道寺から学校に通ってる一世。これで因果関係がないはずないでしょう。
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like Issei is the obvious suspect, but because it's one of those things that, like, because this is a written work, because this is a work of fiction, he's almost too obvious, if that makes sense. It's like a meta thing. But yes, they're right to think that Issei is suspicious, 100%.
ないって。そんなの偶然の一致かもしんないだろ。
It could be, but that doesn't mean it isn't worth exploring. I try to defend Issei.
そんなわけないじゃない。いい？ここ数週間、竜道寺の山門はずっと閉じられているのよ。部外者は入れないし、寺から外に出てきたのは一世ぐらいのもんなんだから。
Sure.
これで怪しくなかったら、真犯人は誰でもいいってレベルでしょ。
That's the thing. If Issei is the only suspicious individual.
あのさ、外に出ないって言うけど、普通お坊さんは頻繁に寺から出てこないもんじゃないのか？
I assume they've been staying there and not leaving.
バカ、あんたいつの時代の人間よ。
Wow.
檀家周りあっての総門でしょ。山寺に引きこもってお賽銭だけで食っていけるんだったら、明日にでも出家するわよ。
Based. Tohsaka is surprisingly serious. If Issei were here, I'm sure he'd be yelling at her for being an offering thief. That's crazy. I love the transparent Rin. That's a new one. I'm interested in what's going on at the temple, but that's not the problem. Right now, let's be mindful of our surroundings. We're at the school gate. We're surrounded by students on their way to school, and they're frozen hearing the school idol ranting like a madwoman.
何よその目。何？エミヤ君は一世をかばうってわけ？
Maybe there's some degree of that in here, but it's definitely a situation where bro is more worried about, at least in this exact moment, he's more worried about the perception of those around us.
いいわよ私は。あなたが現実的な推測を無視するって言うんなら、こっちだって勝手にやるんだから。
Just be careful. Yet the school's idol is the only one that does not realize this situation.
ちょっとこっち来い。
何よ、逃げる気？
逃げない。いいからこっち。
I pull Tohsaka's hand and start walking.
ちょっとエミヤ君。
She can complain later. Let me just get out of here as soon as possible. The morning practice must be cancelled due to yesterday's incident because the archery range is empty. I'm glad. We won't attract any attention here. Yeah, you could talk about this stuff to your heart's content around here, which is nice. So the remaining problem is... Yeah, it's explaining this to Rin. Tohsaka, who's staring me down.
わかってる。遠坂の言いたいことぐらい俺だってわかってる。わかってるからそんな顔するな。遠坂にすねられるとどうしていいかわからない。
すねてなんかない。
I'm stunned by the immediate comeback, but I have to deal with her calmly. Issei's life is on the line. Knowing Tohsaka, I bet she would do something crazy to test Issei.
あなたこそごまかさないで。キャスターの本拠地は竜道寺で、一星は竜道寺から学校に来ているのよ。だって言うのに、どうしてそれを無視するのよ、あなたは。
That's wild. Because, yeah, like, everything she's saying is right on the money. Tohsaka yells at me. It may be true, but I don't think Issei is the master for a different reason.
何よ、反論があるっていうの？
But if I gave some half-assed reason, I would most likely die before Issei. At the same time, I can't leave Tohsaka like this, so I have to convince her somehow.
よし。どうしても一星が怪しいって言うんだな、遠坂は。
そうよ。エミヤ君にはわからないかもしれないけど、今の竜道寺はとにかく変なの。
Sure.
キャスターが根城にしているってこともあるんだけど、それにしたって揺らぎが大きすぎるっていうか、集まりやすすぎるっていうか。
集まりやすすぎる？それって街から吸い上げてるっていう魔力のこと？
それは関係ないことだから気にしないで。
What the hell is she collecting then? Nah, you're way more suspicious than Issei right now, Tohsaka. The hair flip is crazy.
そんなところから涼しい顔でやってきてる時点であいつは怪しいの。
That's kind of the thing, though. He's triggering so many flags, which makes him too suspicious.
ええ、前からあいつには一発蹴り入れてやんなきゃなんないって思ってたし。
Wow.
今回の件はちょうどいいわ。
That's crazy. Tohsaka is serious. I had always heard that they didn't get along, but I didn't know it was this bad. Actually, what the heck did Issei do to earn this from her anyway? And Issei's always kind of been like, I don't know if afraid of her is the right word, but is like, yeah, don't mess with Tohsaka, basically. I'm a bit curious about what can make Tohsaka dramatically violent. No, now's not the time for that. Yeah, let's not bait that out of her, even though it might be cute.
そうだな。一星の立場が疑わしいってのには俺も同感だ。
当然よ。これ以上かばったりしたらそれこそ同罪なんだから。
なあ、だから一星のことは俺に任せてくれ。あいつがマスターかどうかは俺がはっきりさせる。
I mean, Shirou is close to Issei, but I don't know how Tohsaka feels about trusting that, given the fact that Shirou clearly seems to be defending Issei. Yeah. Whoa. The look she gives me says she doesn't trust me at all. Yeah, exactly. I already explained that here, Shirou.
信じろ。一星が友人だからって手加減はしないし、遠坂にも嘘はつかない。だいたいそんな心配はいらないんだ。一星があんな非道をするわけないんだから。
Honestly, bro, I don't know how good of a judge of character you are, bro. You've given Shinji so much rope in this series that, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Issei is like that, but still. Yeah. The silent onslaught continues. I imagine Tohsaka is worried that I might do just that and go easy on him, which is fair enough, so I'll just have to take this scrutiny. I can only get her to trust me.
わかったわよ。一星のことはあなたに任せる。
I mean, you could still be looking into other possible options, Rin, even if, whereas Shirou could focus on Issei, who is the most obvious candidate.
遠坂。
I sigh with relief.
けど、どうやって見極めるのよ。エミヤ君、マスターの見分け方覚えたの？
Tohsaka asked me the fundamental defect in this proposal.
と。
まさかいつもの調子で「おい一星、お前マスターか?」なんて問いただすわけじゃないでしょうね。
That would be really funny.
いくら協力関係でもね、そんなたわけたことをやろうって言うんなら、ここであなたとの決着をつけてやるわよ。
Yeah, it is a bit ridiculous if that is your move there, Shirou. She's mad. Seriously mad.
また大丈夫。聞かなくてもマスターかどうかわかる手段はある。一星の件は今日中に白黒つけるから、遠坂はおとなしくしていてくれ。結果が分かったら連絡を入れるから。
Sure.
そうね。協力関係ってこういうことだし。
Yeah. Fair enough. She starts walking, making a gesture that obviously tells me she's not convinced.
信頼してるわ。けど、あんまりバカなことはしないでよ。もし一星がそうだった場合、下手な行動は命取りになるんだから。
She's not wrong. It is quite literally a game of life and death. Tohsaka says and heads back to the school building. Once I see her off...
あれ今のもしかして
Are we gonna see Shinji? Really realized that she was really... he's just thinking about the conversation they just had. I belatedly realized that she was really just worried about me. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. It's lunchtime, so I go to the student council room.
邪魔するぞ。
I say and open the door. There he is.
おう、今日はここで昼食か、エミヤ。
Issei is eating lunch by himself inside. Good, this is convenient.
どうだ調子は。昨日の事件どんな塩梅になったんだよ。
I sit at the table and try to act casual.
それが説明されずじまいだ。1階の空き教室に置かれていた薬品がどうしたとか、そんな当たり障りのない話だよ。昨日の午後から朝まで散々校舎を調べ回って、出た結論がそれだとさ。
A bunch of malarkey, basically. He seems unhappy as he bites into a stiff carrot. I like me
し
some
かしお前
carrots.
も運がいいな。昼休みから珍しくサボりかと思えばなお逃れたという。普段の行いがようやく報われたということか。
I like raw carrots though. I'm not like cooked carrots are fine, like in a super stew or whatever, but I'm not a big fan. If I'm gonna have like I like raw carrots though, and then like I said, cooked carrots are okay. But yeah. This time he sips on his tea happily. Well, this is awkward. It doesn't seem like the right time to interrogate him, so I'll wait for a while and see. I don't know if there's ever going to be the opportune time to interrogate him. Damn, there's only 5 minutes left before break is up.
どうしたエミヤ？何かひらめいたか？
ひらめきはしないが思い出した。のんきに弁当食ってる場合じゃなかった。
I hurriedly wrap my lunch back up and face Issei.
不穏な空気。言っておくが、安心はするな。
I love that his immediate assumption of this is that we're asking for a loan.
ねだられてもないものはない。
Fair enough. I love how he's also getting ahead of it. I get up from my chair. There's no time. I just have to dive right in.
一星、何も聞かずに上着を脱げ。
That is crazy. Issei's about to... Dude, Issei's about to think you're trying to smash. I demand as firmly as possible. Issei is absolutely about to think that bro wants to fuck. Yep.
なんでそう？
What is that? I don't think we've ever seen this face from Issei, and what is this music?
だから制服を脱げ。上着だけじゃなくてシャツもだ。
Bro, how serious Shirou is right now. I swear, I don't think we've ever heard this theme.
裸じゃないと意味がない。
Oh, this is about to get so sus.
何を言い出すかと思えば、正気か貴様。あれか、新手の押し問答か。
そう、せっぱせっぱ。
What?
いいから脱げ。放課後になったら手遅れなんだから。
What in the world is this conversation? I grab at Issei. Oh no.
やめるかたわけ。貴様それでも武家の息子か。
Did bro actually? Wow, bro is actually stripping?
よし。
In the end, there was no command spell on Issei's body. I searched thoroughly, but I didn't see anything that looked like a command spell, and the fangirls go wild.
よかった。いや、ほんとよかった。
I nod to myself.
何が良いものか。貴様、ここまでやっておきながら何もないとはどういうことだ。
Bro, did you want him to do something? That's crazy, bro.
ああ、そうか。悪かった、伊勢。事情は話せないんだが、どうしても調べたいことがあったんだ。それも済んだから、もう何も問題ない。
Dude, Issei's a real bro for actually stripping for, Shirou, though. That's crazy. I bow my head and apologize.
悪いことをしたと思うのなら、謝罪の一つもするというもの。
I don't even know what to say about that. It was funny, though. Issei goes silent with a serious expression. But now it's back to square one. If Issei, who has ties with the Ryoto Temple, is innocent, there's no one else that could be applicable as Caster's master. I guess the one thing about this that does scare me is now it seems like completely impossible for it to be Issei, which almost makes me wonder if somehow he was hiding his command spell. Probably not. Probably not. I still do think that he's not the most likely case. There's a certain teacher around here who, kind of by process of elimination, I just think is going to be the master. And also, it's a character that they did nothing with in the Fate route, but he exists, he has a sprite. Now, Ayako does, and Ayako's kind of just around, but still.
なあ、伊勢。最近、寺の方で変わったことはないか？
ん？変わったことというと？
わからない。ただ、今までとは違うこととかないかな？
Yeah.
そうだな。最近の話なら、見慣れない女が一人いるぐらいか。だがそれだけだ。親父も兄貴たちも静かなもんだぞ。
New woman could be Caster. Issei says calmly. A new woman. Could that be Caster? Well, I'm sure that servant would pretend to be a human without a problem. Yeah, I mean, appearance-wise, she could. It could be Caster. I guess there's a non-0% chance it's Caster's master. But that seems very unlikely just because that would be a new character. And it honestly feels like we're at the point where we literally, genuinely, I don't think we're going to meet another character for the rest of Fate Stay Night, to be perfectly honest. In this route and in Heaven's Feel. I think we met every character that's going to be in this story, or in any of these stories. Or could that woman be Caster's master? Yeah, he's actually bringing that up. There's a non-zero chance that's Caster's master. Now, I think it's more likely it's Caster herself, but it could be Caster's master. That's not completely out the realm of possibility. Should I try and ask Issei? Maybe. I don't really see the harm in asking. I'll try asking him. She's not one to reveal herself even to Issei, but I might be able to get some clues. Issei does live at the temple.
伊勢、その見慣れない女ってどんなやつなんだ？外国から来たとか、いつもターバンみたいな布で顔を隠しているとか。
なんだそれは。そのような怪しい女ならばすぐさま放り出している。
Fair enough.
どんな思惑で知りたがるのかは聞かないが、
Fair
彼女は
enough.
真っ当な客人だ。
That makes sense.
兄貴などは毒婦だなんだと喜んでおるが、俺は不思議と気に入っていてな。一度しか話したことはないのだが、悪ぶっているように見えるが根は善人だ。
My brother entertains the idea that she's some servant of evil, but I rather like her. The irony, too, of the use of the word servant is funny there.
ありゃ、聞いてみるもんだな。一星が女の人を褒めるなんて。なんだ、もしかして惚れたのか？
Nice little teasing action.
バカを言うなったわけ。俺が感心したのは、あの女が自分でも気づいていない部分の話だ。 大体だな。兄と仰ぐ総一郎の相手に消そうするなど。
I can't fall in love with the lover of Soichiro, the one I look up to like a brother. I have like four different questions out of that. The lover, well, okay, I mean this practically confirms it. I think we found out who the master is. And it is exactly who I thought it was going to be. But what? So they're pretending to be lovers and what? Yeah, Issei suddenly stops talking and lowers his face. Also, bro getting embarrassed. First by stripping for us, and now by this teasing action. He might have felt dizzy as he falls face down on the table and doesn't move. Okay, bro's dead.
どうした、イッセイ？貧血か？
Yeah, let's call it anemia.
いや、体の調子が悪いのではない。
He lifts himself suddenly. I laugh, picturing him like a wind-up doll suddenly full of energy. What the hell?
イッセイ。
What the fuck? I don't even look at my stomach. My eyes go to the knife in Issei's hand. So, is it because Issei revealed something about the master, and it was like, oh, you need to die and all that? Like, is that what that... I assume that's why this happened, but I wonder, so if actually finding out about what was going on is going to be a bad end, potentially? Or if this was actually what was supposed to happen. What the fuck? What the fuck?
物がかかった。私を追求する者に遭遇した場合のみ、その人間に植え付けた命令が作動する。
Oh, that's so fire. That is so fire. That's such a smart thing, too. Dude, the blood eyes is crazy, though. That's a crazy look there. You say? Yeah, I said, oh, what harm could there be? Well, yeah, I'm dealing with Castor. Of course there's harm. A voice that doesn't belong to Issei comes out of his mouth. I mean, that sounded like Issei, but... When I realize it's the voice of the servant I met at Ryoto Temple...
この人形も、もういらない。
Is it supposed to be assassin? It's like I'm looking in a mirror. My consciousness fades from the blood loss. The wound, the pain from the wound reaching my organs isn't causing my consciousness to fade. Instead of death from blood loss, eager to deny the sight before me, my mind rapidly freezes my consciousness. Issei falls down before me without knowing what's going on. I collapse onto the floor from my knees. I don't even press on my own wound, and I stare blankly at the face of my friend, who is now just a corpse. Well, that was an unexpected dead end. I'm not gonna lie. Did not see that one coming. That was cool, though. Sure, why not? It's always fun to get a Tiger Dojo scene. Oh, we're getting a...
Yay! That's my first dance!
Bomb Voyage. What in the world? What is this, like, what, the Japanese wordplay game? What the hell?
さて、注意1秒怪我一生。誰彼構わずむやみに聞けばいいってものじゃないのよ、エンド。どうだったかな？
Yeah, it actually did.
あまりにも理不尽&唐突なし。これぞフェイトって感じで最高。
It was such an irrational and sudden death. This is totally fate and absolutely awesome, Master. I love it. That's actually really funny.
だが我々はこの犠牲を忘れてはならない。さあ、竜斗君に黙祷3秒。
Poor Issei. And we continue on.
3秒といういいスタート差がさらに最高であります、師匠。
Yep. Oh my god, they're actually doing it now. I did it early.
実際、竜道寺の人たちはどうなっちゃってるわけ？キャスターが作った人工的なレイジを組み込まれていて、
That makes sense.
キャスターの参加条を破ったり破るやつに出会ったら、骨人形みたいに一つの命令を実行するだけの人間になるの。
Yep.
あいつ、道具を作るのうまいから、
シローだってあいつに捕まったら魔術補佐の限定霊装にされかねないわ。
Ilya knows her shit when it comes to magic, that's for sure.
悪キャスターは悪認定
Pretty much. I mean, everything we've seen, she does seem pretty evil.
他人を己が意のままにしようなどと教育者として許しません
I mean, low-key, you kind of use... That's kind of what you do to Shirou.
別にそれだけで悪いっていうのはどうかと思うけど、
That's also fair.
キャスターは確かに小物で
Wow.
臆病で狡猾だけど、根はまだ悪人になりきれてないし。
なぜかような魔女をかばう弟子1号何か思うところがあるの
Well, they are both mages.
別にそういうわけじゃないよ。私はただ魔術で誰かを拘束してもそれ自体は悪いことじゃないって言いたいだけだったり。
Speaking from experience there, Ilya Seville?
あ、思い出した。イリアちゃんもっとひどいことシローにやってきたじゃない。
Yeah.
チキショー、バレたかこんちくしょうめ。
Why are you trying to say that? Yeah.
なぜかその市内には勝てません。
Yep, nobody can beat Taiga Sensei.
当然よ。この道場では魔術は一切禁止なんだから。弟子1号が私に勝つには野生のライオンとか近代兵器を持ってくるしかないんだから。
Very specific. A wild lion? Or a modern weapon. I guess lion v Taiga would be, quite the battle.
さあ、いい加減反省した？
はーい、反省してます。もう
Nice.
悪いことはいたしません。
I somehow doubt that, Ilya.
うん、いい子だ。これで少年の願いも叶ったというもの。喜べ弟分。このルートではイリアちゃんはおとなしめだぞ。
Hallelujah.
はいはい、今回はおとなしくしてればいいんでしょ。まあ、いつも暴れっぱなしっていうのも芸がないしね。リンルートではいっそシロを助けてあげて他のヒロインを食っちゃうのもいいかな。
I'm good, Ilya. You just keep rampaging with Bazaka. I'm good.
なあそこまで考えていたというの？
The music stopped too.
反則コスだけでは飽き足らず本編でそんな美味しいシチュエーションさえ演じるなんて。
Wow. What the fuck?
イリア、怖い子。
Ilya is indeed quite scary. It'll be pointless, so I won't ask. No, it'll be too dangerous to keep on talking about this. Issei lives at Ryoto Temple, after all. If I make him suspicious about this woman, then he might get curious and do something. And if that woman is a master, Issei would be in danger. This is it for today. I'll call it good, since I found out that Issei has nothing to do with the Holy Grail War.
ああ、そういえばエミヤ、シンジの妹、今日はいなかったな。
No Sakura action.
さくら、今日学校休んでるのか？
Okay, and Shirou wasn't aware of that.
シンジも休んでいただろう。二人とも無断欠席。うちで何かあったのではないかと職員室で問題になっている。
Interesting. I mean, we know Shinji had a rough day yesterday. I'm at a loss for words, being confronted with a problem that I'd forgotten about. Wow.
昼休みも終わりだな。教室に戻ろう。
Issei ushers me out of the student council room. All the while, the thoughts of Sakura being absent and what happened to Shinji after losing Ryder swirl in my head. Sure, makes sense to me. I mean, oh, we're getting an interlude now? Interesting. Interlude 8-1. Okay. Let them cook. Whose interlude is it? Archer, Saber. Whoa. Is this Kirei? Whose interlude is this? The sound was like hitting steel. Oh, it's Shinji. Shinji going to the church after the events of yesterday. He arrived there still breathing heavily. His footsteps are loud and their rhythm is erratic. Staggering forward, he leaves the door flung wide open. He can hardly stay on his feet, pulled forward only by his falling body. Dude, is Kirei about to kill Shinji? That would be fucking psychotic. He looks around. The church is empty after morning service. Light is only provided by the sun streaking through the windows above. The silence creates a solemn air, and the still atmosphere creates a profound stillness. His very presence is heresy. Pretty sure that's Shinji's voice. No, that would be wrong. He did not merely come to this place. With ragged breath and unfocused eyes, with shaking limbs that wither and sway, he desperately fled for shelter. That is the true answer. His wretchedness is that of prey fleeing from a predatory hound.
戦いが始まって6日。ここに足を運んだのは君が初めてだ。
Yep. My goat, Kotomine, is talking now. He forces his body upright. Just when did this man appear? With bloodshot eyes, he peers at the priest standing at the altar and mutters incoherently. The priest frowns. He could not fully understand the boy, but assumes he is here to ask for help. He wants protection. The master who lost his servant may ask for protection under the condition that he withdraws from the war. That place of refuge, the last sanctuary, is this church. And the master of this place, Kotomine Kirei, is the priest, or Kirei Kotomine.
では戦いを放棄するのか、少年。
The boy responds to that solemn voice with a sparking flame.
当たり前だ。僕に死ねって言うのか。いいか。サーバントがいないんじゃ殺しようがないし、マスターなんてやってられない。僕は普通の人間なんだ。いわば被害者側だろ。そういうのを狙ってさ、一方的に殺すなんて不公平じゃないか。
God damn. The priest does not answer and only looks at the intruder. He looks beyond the boy, as if to peer beneath the skin, bone, and sinew to that which lies beneath.
なんだよ。なんか文句あるのかよ。
Yeah, Kirei is about to bitch slap you. He's like, you're a fucking joke of a villain. I'm a fucking gangster. I'm a fucking baller. You know who I am? Bro, I don't even fit on the screen. I'm such a gangster.
意見などない。君は今回一人目の放棄者であり、我が教会始まって以来の使用者だ。管理者として、ここに根付いた父に代わり、丁重にもてなそう。
Fair enough.
なんだよ。リタイアしたのは僕だけだっていうのか。くそ、みっともない。こんなことじいさんに知られたらなんて言われるか。
He would not be happy, I'm sure.
ああ、それもこれもお前たちのせいだぞ。ライダーなんてカスをつかませやがって、あんまりにも不公平じゃないか。
I mean, they really had nothing to do with it, to be honest. He pounds his fist into the floor in a rage. The sound echoes like a bell, and the priest smiles with great interest.
では、ライダーは役に立たなかったと。
Huh.
そうだよ。たく、大口叩きやがって。
Fucking imagine if Kirei was like, you want Lancer? Could you fucking imagine?
あいつ、この僕があんなに手を貸してやったのに、あっけなく死にやがった。
I swear, if Kirei says, what about Lancer, I will fucking, like, throw something. I will throw this empty bottle of water. Because anything else would be, not a good idea to throw.
ああ、それでも僕はうまくやった。ちゃんとじいさんの言いつけ通りやって、準備は万全だったんだ。
With the boundary field, the bounded field.
だっていうのにあいつら、揃って邪魔をしやがって。2対1だぞ。そんなの勝ち目なんてないじゃないか。
So you did actually have, like, some instructions from your grandfather. Interesting. This is all lore that we never learned about in the Fate route. When, ironically, Shinji was a big player in the Fate route.
そうだ。負けたのは僕のせいじゃない。
This is the most Shinji shit ever, too. Like, I don't even necessarily disagree. Like, I feel like Ryder is a beast, because everyone's a beast in this, but Ryder probably was a pretty, like, decently bad draw, all things considered, out of this crew. But still.
単にサーバントの質の差なんだ。それをあいつら 偉そうに勝ち誇った顔しやがって。
Bro is so salty. And then he squirms on the ground. He strikes the floor bitterly, laments his misfortune, and obsesses over his obstacles. But his resentful voice dissipates quickly. Hatred of such a level cannot break the silence of this church or the crazy Oregon OST, making me think of Damon Gant. He repeats his cries of agony. In the midst of it, footsteps. Oh, are we gonna get to finally see Kirei? The priest's steps echo through the room as if they were shattering the frozen air. The father slowly puts his hand on the child's shoulder. No. No, there's no fucking shot. He is not about to give him Lancer. He looks down at the loser and says so with a gentle voice. Either that or he's gonna kill him. He cannot understand the priest's words. The clergy in black has a polite smile on his face. No. No! Sorry, I accidentally pressed. I don't even know what I pressed. There's no fucking shot that Kirei just said, here's fucking Lancer. I mean, again, given the whole situation with Gilgamesh, like, he doesn't really need Lancer. What the fuck? The priest offers a new salvation, barely able to restrain a rapturous joy. What the fuck are we doing? What the hell? Are you kidding? That's crazy. That's crazy. School's over. Dude, they are cooking so hard. I can't believe... I said that half jokingly, but I was... You know why I said it? Because it's so in Kotomine's character to do that. That is what Kirei would do. Like, oh, I can't believe that actually happened. That's a crazy development. I'm here for it, though. School's over. Probably because of yesterday's incident, students are not allowed to remain at the school for any reason. There's still time until the sun sets, so... Meat's on sale today. I'll make a big dinner to make Saber happy. I really want to click this one. I feel like we should choose this one. This one has me very curious. This is actually a really hard choice. I kind of want to really, like, see all three of these, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. I mean, I'm not... As funny as this one is, I'm not picking this one, but these two are actually really hard. Because I feel like going to the Mato household is the most interesting option. I feel like contacting Tohsaka is the right option. And I feel like... No, I want to play this game right. Let's contact Tohsaka. I feel like this is correct.
登坂が一斉に襲いかかる前にちゃんと潔白だったって言っとかないと。
I should hurry. Before their relationship suffers beyond repair, I have to let my hot-headed partner know.
登坂さんならとっくに帰ったわ
Interesting.
よ。
Then, after searching everywhere else first, I stopped once more at classroom 2A where the final blow was dealt.
あんなにやる気満々だったくせに早々に帰ってやがる。
This is starting to feel stupid. I could just call her once I get home. I check the school directory as soon as I get home and call Tohsaka's. Well, okay, I feel like this ended up being a really lame choice. The phone rings. After calling dozens of times, right before I'm ready to give up, she picks up.
はい、登坂ですが。
Voice on the other end is definitely Tohsaka's.
もしもし、エミヤだけど。 今時間いいか？
はあ？何ふざけてんのよ。ってあれ？嘘？本当？
Wow. Who the hell did you think it? Oh, stop fooling around, Archer.
な、お前にいたずら電話かけるほど余裕ないぞ。
Nice, nice.
そういうんじゃなくて。
Girl literally thought she was getting trolled by Archer.
それで何かあったの？エミヤくんの方から電話してくるなんて。
何かって一星のことだよ。朝約束しただろ。今日中にはっきりさせるって。結論から言うと、一星はマスターじゃなかった。体のどこにもレジはなかったから間違いない。
I'm really curious if Rin's gonna ask the specifics of how you found out.
本当？驚いたわ。本当に今日中に調べるなんて。けど一星は白か。
I mean,
当てはなくなったけど、それならそれでいいか。
even if it's somewhat of a dead end today, it still is progress in general. I can't tell whether she's disappointed or relieved. I can't grasp Tohsaka's reaction that well through the phone.
とにかくご苦労様。マスター探しの方針はまた明日考えるとして。要件はそれだけ？なら切るけど。
I don't have anything else to say, but there is one other thing that bothers me.
トサカ、さっき驚いてたみたいだけど、そっちで何かあったのか？
Yeah, what's up, girl? I can feel Tohsaka's bewilderment through the phone. After a brief moment of silence,
別に。あなたの声、電話だと少し違って聞こえたから驚いただけよ。
really? She states the obvious in a cold voice and hangs. Okay, what's going on, Tohsaka? That was really weird. Dinner ends before I realize it. I came home, trained with Saber in the dojo. Fujine came home, I made dinner, the three of us ate. Now it's already past 8 p.m. Are we gonna get a really short day? Are we actually about to have a 2-day episode? Or is this something crazy gonna happen in this night?
じゃあ有名な達人さんなの？セーバーちゃんが教え出してからこっち、シローったら別人みたいなんだけど。
Interesting.
それは私も驚いています。ですが、シローの死は別にいるようですから。
Yeah, accrediting it
私の手腕ではありません。
that Shirou's adapted Archer's style. We're having our post-meal tea. It's good that Fujine and Saber are getting along. I don't want to interrupt, so I sip on my tea quietly and rest my body. Saber's training really did a number on me. Oops.
師匠が2人？ありゃ、二股かけてるってこと？
Oh no! Oh no! Does that mean he's cheating on you?
本人に自覚はないようですが。ですがまあ、結果がいいので黙認することにしました。
That's a crazy line. If you just had that line and then this line with no context, crazy. Especially with them making those faces at us. That's
確か
wild.
に、シローは自分に合った戦法を身につけた方がいい。体はとうに出来上がっているのですから。あとは自身をうまく動かす思考を組み込むだけです。
I mean, she's not wrong. Like, all that is true.
あ、セーバーちゃんは分かってるじゃない。そうそう、シローはずっと鍛えてきたんだから体はしっかりしてるのよ。今まではね、本人に体を鍛える。確かにあのような道場があったのなら鍛錬にも身が入りましょう。加えてタイガといういい対戦相手がいたのですから素質がないはずがない。
Fair enough. Saber nods emotionally and sips on her tea. Then,
あの道場で剣道をするのは久しぶりだよ。セーバーちゃんが来るまであそこは剣道場じゃなかったもん。
Fujine corrects her while biting on a rice cracker.
剣道場ではなかった。シローは道場で竹刀を持たなかったのですか？
Yeah, it's kind of just there. Saber looks at me with surprise.
まあそうだけど、親父が死んでからは使わなかったからな。
Damn.
そうよ。シロー、暇さえあれば桐次さんと試合してたのに、桐次さんが亡くなったら途端に竹刀を持たなくなってさ。私は悲しかったな。
I bet. Munch munch. Taiga nibbles on the rice cracker while resting her head on the table. I have a bad feeling about this, or rather, I could predict what's about to happen. When Fujine gets like this, the conversation always goes to...
ああ、どうしてかな。あの頃は剣道少年だったのに、今じゃプー太郎だよ。そりゃ、お世辞にも剣の才能はなかったけど、弓道はちょっとこの子大丈夫なのかなって思うぐらいだったのにやめちゃうしさ。
I mean, to be fair, he's a god at archery, apparently.
やっぱりそうきたか。藤ね、昔の話なんてやめろよな。後ろ向きだぞ、そういうの。
Sure. I glare at her. I do hate it, though. Kendo, archery, it's literally Saber and Archer. Like, I hate this game. They are not subtle, but at the same time, it's so good. Fujini sulks and eats her rice cracker. Phew! She backed off this time.
ほう。シロウの幼年期の話ですか、タイガ。
Are you curious to learn more, Saber? She was over it. Why do you have to bring it back up, Saber?
何？聞きたい聞きたい。
She is way too excited about this. What the hell? Oh, what?
はい。興味があります。
Why did it sound like we were collecting a ring in a Sonic game? What the hell was that sound effect? And that weird zoom in, sorta zoom in?
よーし。
Yas.
話してあげよっかな。
The morale of the Fujimura army goes up due to reinforcements from the Saber camp. Is that what that sound effect was? Jesus Christ. Not like I could stop her now. I don't want to interrupt, so I'll quietly drink my tea. I'll focus on resting like originally planned.
それでね、今はこんなにひねくれちゃったけど、子供の頃は可愛かったのよ。人のことを疑わなかったし、お願いすれば何でも二つ返事で
His
引き受けてくれた
personality
り。
is all screwy now is funny.
うんうん。でも妙に頑固なところがあってね、一度決めたことはなかなか変えなかったりしたっけ。そのあたり、キリツグさんとは正反対だったかな。
Interesting. So Kiritsugu was kind of laissez-faire with these things, whereas Emiya or Shirou was, you know, set in stone.
キリツグは素人は正反対だったのですか。そうだよ。キリツグさんは何でもオッケーって人だったから、いいことも悪いことも人それぞれ、人生なるようになるさって人だったな。
My type of guy. I do say it is what it is all the time. Whatever happens, happens is a good one too, though. I don't say it as much, though.
そのくせ、困ってる人を見たら何とかしちゃうのよね。シロウもそんなキリツグさんの真似ばっかりしてた。
Hmm. So they have similarities, but differences as well.
シロウはキリツグさんよりはっきりしてたから、悪いことはダメだって町のいじめっ子をバンバン叩いてたっけ。
Wow. Man, dude, every time they talk about Kiritsugu, all I'm just thinking in my head is Fate Zero. Oh, I can't wait for that.
その時
I
から
really can't wait
シロウ
for
は
Fate
正義の
Zero.
味方だったんだ。
Hero of Justice. Fujine happily talks about boring things. Besides Fujine,
なぜシロウは正義の味方なのですか。
yeah, Saber seems genuinely interested too. And again, it's hard to know. Yeah, Saber asks a simple question.
いや、なぜって聞かれても困る。単に憧れてるからじゃないか。
I think that's like the simplest way to frame it. It's a lot more complicated than that, though.
その正義の味方に。
In theory.
まあ、そうだけど。
It makes me embarrassed when she says stuff like justice straight to my face. I think especially in the context of like Japanese, it's like there is like a childish undertone there. Like it gives off this like almost like, you know, like Sentai vibe almost. Like it's hard to
それはどうして。
どうしてって、それは。
It occurs to me just then. There's really no reason for it. I've admired people like that since I was a kid. This is interesting too, because we're getting to the heart of why, and obviously it goes back to the fire and Kiritsugu as well, but, you know, like, what is the true kind of reasons that you are the way you are, and diving kind of deeper into that in a different way in this route compared to how we did in the Fate route. I tried to be of help to people and support anyone that was sad to the best of my ability. It hasn't changed even now. But the reason behind it, why did I try to be of help to people? Yeah, back to Kiritsugu. You can leave your dream to me. That is the answer. The last moment of the person that meant everything to me. He died peacefully because of something I said. I wanted to protect that trust he had in me. Even after he died, so that he would be able to rest in peace for an eternity. But is it really the real reason? Huh.
Shirou.
That's actually really interesting. I really want them to explore this more, and I'm sure they will in this route, but interesting stuff. I hear my name and come to my senses.
いや、悪い。先に戻る。
I stood up, overwhelmed with unexplainable anxiety. I leave the living room as if fleeing that feeling. No ifs about it. I ran. That was a simple question. But I was scared that something might come to light when Saber looked at me with those eyes.
なんで？何が怖いってんだ、俺は。
Of your flimsy reason for being falling apart? An uneasiness that even I don't understand myself. A shapeless fear, nausea welling up. I hurried to my room, trying to suppress a headache. Fujine went home, saying she had work left to do tonight. Saber is sleeping in the room next to mine, just like yesterday. I stare into the darkness, unable to sleep again. It's not that I can't sleep because I'm conscious of Saber. Why would he act like that? Those words. It's because that question still remains in my heart. She asked me why, and I said I found them admirable. It's obvious why I ran away then. Because if she asked me why I admired them, I would have nothing to say in response. No, I do have an answer. But something is keeping me from saying it aloud. Interesting.
正義の味方である理由。
Why ask that now? I was desperate to be like Kiritsugu when I was a kid. I admired people like him because there was an ideal that I could not fulfill. Yep, here we go, back to the fire. That should be the source of it all. The true form of the ideal that I have now, no. The ideal that I've had for the past 10 years. If I could save someone, I glared up at the sky thinking that it would be a lie unless I could save everything. But which one is the lie? The ideal of justice that I admired? The older I get, the more I stray from it. The ignorant child that knew no bounds grew up, gained knowledge, and learned of a limit. That some truly cannot be saved. Miracles are beyond human ability. Even then, I believed that I could become like Kiritsugu when I grew up. Yet all I gained was the wisdom to decide that ideals are just that. All I can do is clean up afterwards. Oh, I really like that line. Even then, I believed that I could become like Kiritsugu when I grew up, yet all I gained was the wisdom to decide that ideals are just that. All I can do is clean up afterwards. That's good stuff. Even though I was made acutely aware that it's meaningless, I've continued doing what I can, and that's what makes you a good person, Emiya. Even if that means just saving one person. Though my goal was to save as many lives as I could, I've lost and discarded things along the way. Also, I wouldn't lose the most important part. Though reality continuously knocks me down, if my heart does not accept defeat, I can stand strong, even if it's a bluff. That ideal, the ideal where nobody is hurt, is wonderful. You can leave your dream to me. Yes, if no one's going to. I just thought that I would inherit this dream myself. That's why I have to become a hero of justice. I have to succeed Kiritsugu and protect what he longed for. How good would it be if everyone could just carry on as before without making any sacrifices?
そんなものはこの世のどこにもありはしない。
うるさい。やってみなくちゃわからないだろう。
Yep, and that's what the ideal that we're fighting against. I desperately reject the words that popped up in the back of my head. He said to drown in my ideals. Ominous words as if he could prognosticate my very fate. Oh! As if he could prognosticate my very fate is so good. And obviously, title drop, which makes it even better. That was a really short day. So we're going for round 2. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling. Let's move on to February 8th. What do we got? My Dear Stray Dead. My Dear Stray Dead is a crazy title. I can barely even say it. My Dear Stray Dead. Alright, what are we getting for the dream this time? Then I see his dream. The memory of the man who was celebrated as a hero. The story of a knight who was not understood by anyone. It is a simple story. At the very heart of the matter, there was something wrong with him. He had a reasonable amount of power and a fair amount of ambition, yet he used his strength in the wrong places from beginning to end and died a miserable death. It came as a reasonable consequence. Power exists to grant your own wishes. Pity does no good for others. There's a balance because the actions you take come back to you, or so Kirei regularly says. One is fed because their actions circulate to generate more vitality. Interesting that referencing Kirei in the dream. But not having that means never being replenished. If one lives for someone else instead of oneself, it's obvious they would run out of energy right away. It would be like money if it were disposable. If others use it, there is nothing left for you. It's easy to take advantage of, and it's a given that it'll be used. That's why, in the end, he saw many betrayals, and his life was ended by someone he saved. Damn. Just makes me mad. I want to know why. He worked hard, made superhuman effort, even though he was an ordinary person, and he accomplished a miracle with his own blood. And of course it would make you mad, because the idealization that you see for Kiritsugu, you're seeing again in this dream. Again, with Archer. And now... and you're just not satisfied with how it ends. His reward for that was betrayal and death. And though it seemed ludicrous, he died satisfied. It's not my place to criticize another's life. I will say, though, tonally, especially with the Kirei mention... It does start to give off the vibes that, like, this is Rin dreaming about Archer, which almost makes more sense, but I'm still, I mean, I still do, it is still pretty sure that it's Shirou dreaming about Archer, but it's interesting. It's not my place, but I can't stand that one major point. I've had this dream multiple times now, and that is my belief. Usually I wake up here, yeah. I mean, it absolutely is Shirou's dreams, for the record, like. But the Kirei mention threw me off a little. Yet, it seems like this morning, there's more to this dream. Interesting. He was standing in that hell. Doesn't that look familiar, Shirou? Different, but similar. That's such a cool shot, by the way. It is a scene of devastation by natural means rather than human hands. I would make a contract. I will serve after death, and in return, I would take compensation now. He weaves a spell of contract. Thus, he was changed as if possessed, and saved those who would normally not be saved. Oh, this must be how he became a heroic spirit. From this perspective, it isn't really that great of compensation. He probably saved a number not even in the hundreds. This is barely qualification as a hero, with such a small number, and normally it wouldn't count for the level of a heroic spirit. Yet the number is irrelevant. The qualification is one who surpasses human bounds and is able to change the fate of those destined to die. Oh, it didn't quite give me chills. It gave me a slight like shiver almost. Oh, I mean, we're seeing the F word come up a few times here, fate, but oh, in that context, it's so good, especially with this music playing. This theme is so good. Something that upends fate itself. Hell yeah. It doesn't matter if he is not powerful like a hero, so long as it was a disaster that could not be avoided, however small, that he changed. No. The world would gain a heroic spirit in turn as compensation for this miracle. He became a hero and saved many lives that could not have been saved. As a result, he became a heroic spirit after he died and now repeats the same things he did in life. As a servant. As a slave. And that is absolutely a way to look at it. I guess the payment for the miracle is to become a disposable tool in service of others even after death. That's crazy. It makes sense, though. Heroic spirits, superior spirits chosen by humanity, guardian spirits of humanity. But they are not ones with free will like servants. Heroic spirits, guardians of humanity. Guardians do not have free will. They operate merely as sources of power. They are extermination weapons that are only summoned to protect the world when circumstances appear that could destroy it. They are summoned to destroy these circumstances. The servant system is nothing more than a ritual that uses these guardians. Guardians are summoned into any era. After eliminating the threatening circumstances, they disappear. I would hate to be like that, but he must have been determined to take on that role. In fact, he might have even desired it. Nothing made him happier than being able to save people, even after he died. Since he didn't have the power to save them when he was alive, he must have believed that he could avert any tragedy once he became a heroic spirit. With that in mind, he readily made a deal with the world to give up his life after death and saved 100 lives. After that, he believed that he could save tens of thousands more. What an idiot. There's no way that could be possible, because by the time a heroic spirit is summoned, where they appear has already gone to hell. Places where heroic spirits, guardians, appear are only hell. They only appear when the world is about to be destroyed by mankind. Humans are creatures that perish from their own doings. Truer statement has never been said in this game. That's why the process of destruction is always the same. Yep, no matter the time period, the era, always find a way to keep killing ourselves and each other. Oh God. That is terrifying. Jealousy, hatred, selfishness, desire. The man who loved and tried to be of help to others was shown the same ugliness even after he died, and it eventually wore him down and turned him into what he is now. He is summoned to such places and fulfills his responsibilities, just as the contract says. He killed. He killed and killed and killed and killed. He killed all the humans where he was summoned to save humanity as a whole. I don't know how many times he repeated it, nor do I have the means to know how many more times he will continue to repeat it. There's only one thing I can say. He has been betrayed by many things, the world, humanity. But in the end, he was betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideals. This is so good, by the way. This is chef's kiss for sure. Oh my God! Oh my God! No shot, dude. The Kirei thing. Bro. No way! They fucking cooked. Holy shit, they fucking cooked. Please do not tell me we are switching. Dude, if we switch perspectives, I will fucking jizz. Oh my... Because this is not an interlude. This is just the day. What the hell? We just woke up as Rin. What the fuck? That actually was Rin's dream because of the Kirei mention. Like, Kirei said it a bunch of times. I'm like, Shirou's barely ever met Kirei. Holy fuck. Holy shit. That... Again, I mean, that's implying that she keeps having that dream. Has she bet... I have so many questions. Whose dreams have we been watching this whole time? What the fuck? When I wake up, I have nothing useful to say. Holy shit. My body feels strangely tired and I can't move from the bed. My mind is the only thing that's clear, and still I blankly stare at the ceiling. What the fuck? Bro, I'm not. They're not. I'm waiting for like 5 minutes of Rin and them to switch to Shirou. Even if we only get 1 day as Rin, that would still be incredible. Dude, imagine that was just the shift. And like the rest of the route is through Rin's perspective. I would die. I don't think that's gonna happen. But even if we just get 1 day as Rin, holy shit. I sigh and gaze at the ceiling. Because yeah, we're getting full-blown Rin perspective. This is not interlude writing where it's third person. This is first person main Fate Stay Night writing with Rin, like the way that she's written in the prologue, because obviously we are Rin. Rin's the protagonist of the prologue, of course. This sucks. He could have told me that I might get a glimpse of his memories while I'm sleeping, since masters and servants are connected spiritually. If he told me, I could have cut my consciousness so I wouldn't have to deal with that. Oh, God. Oh, my God. That's so good. That's so good. So it really is like... It's just a master-servant thing that's happening. That's crazy. I wonder whose dreams we're gonna get. What are they gonna do with this in Heaven's Feel? Because it was Shirou dreaming about Saber in Fate. It's Rin. Apparently, it's Rin dreaming about Archer, which again makes sense, but it's still crazy. And the way they revealed that was crazy. Rin dreaming about Archer in Unlimited Blade Works. So who's gonna be the combination in Heaven's Feel? I mean, I guess it could be Ilya and Berserker, but I doubt it. Because I've been kind of thinking that, like, Sakura would be, like, the main potato in Heaven's Feel. But, I mean, is it going to be... There's no shot we're going to get Shinji's dreams about Ryder. I'm so curious what the dream sequences are going to be like in Heaven's Feel now. I get my body out of bed. But again, not something to think about right now, really. My body feels heavy and my eyelids are as heavy as stone. I resent how I'm not a morning person and slowly change from my pajamas to my uniform. I'm not sure whether it makes sense or it was unexpected. He used to be a pretty hot-blooded man back in the day. I don't know what hero he was, but he seemed more honest in the past. Well, yeah, he's kind of been worn down by the world.
Yep.
I have a brief laugh. My reflection in the mirror looks so serious, like I'm about to cry, so I try to laugh it off. Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Like, absolutely, Rin having that reaction to her Archer dreams makes perfect sense. Otherwise, I won't be able to face Archer at all. Makes sense. That's crazy. I get ready and drink the freshly brewed tea in the living room. I don't usually eat breakfast, so I'm quick. There's 15 minutes until I have to leave for school. This cup of tea is like a ritual I perform every morning to wake my half-asleep body. There he is. Yet there's one fool that can't read the room.
いつまでって7時半までよ。それを
Nice.
過ぎたら遅刻しちゃうじゃない。
I don't think he was talking about school.
誰が登校時間を言っているか。私が言いたいのは聖杯戦争のことだ。
Mm-hmm.
他のマスターと協力することは悪くない。だが、君の場合は選んだパートナーが悪すぎる。
Of course.
はあ。
That again. Archer keeps on suggesting that I cut up my truce with Shirou Emiya at every chance he gets.
だからその気はないって言ったでしょ。アーチャーはそう言うけど、私は適任だと思う。そりゃ戦力としては不安だけど、協力者としては文句なしでしょ。
Mm.
そのエミヤくんなら何があっても裏切らないと思うしさ。
And that is the correct read.
本来、信頼は駆け引きで築くものだ。理由のない信頼など、それこそ信用ならん。いいか、あれは勝ち残れる人間ではない。協力者を選ぶというのなら、まだキャスターのマスターの方が賢い。
ふざけないでアーチャー。あんた、私にあんな下道と志を同じにしろっていうの？
Yeah, it seems like he is. I set my teacup down and look at Archer. Even if it was sarcasm, I can't ignore his implication. And we're back to playing this theme again. This conversation's about to get a little more serious here between Archer and Ren. The atmosphere freezes, exactly. Yep, that's what you know. That's basically what this theme represents. I'm seriously getting pissed, and Archer looks like he has no intention of backing down. We stare each other down.
確かに、キャスターは下道だが、あれはあれで実に魔術師らしい。
I mean, she literally is a mage.
その点で言えば、リンは戦いには向いていない。魔術師ならば、志より結果を取るべきだ。
He's right. That is the mage way. That is absolutely the way of the mage in the Fate universe.
皮肉を言っても無駄よ。私は方針を変えないわ。
Mm.
まったく。どうしたのだ一体。エミやシローと知り合ってからの君はおかしいぞ。以前の合理性はどこに行った？
Yep. I realize that without you even having to say it, but I can't help it. He hasn't gained anything even though he's a mage, and he's dangerously narrow-minded. There's no use in trying to scheme against such a guy, and besides, he's,
リン。
あ、
どうした？ようやく自分の愚かさに気づいたか？
Damn, that's a crazy thing to say to her, but...
そうね。ええ、私はどうかしてる。
Damn, actually admitting it. I don't know if Archer was expecting
けど
that.
アーチャー、それもこれもみんなあんたがつまんないもの見せるからじゃない。
What does that mean?
何？
Yeah, I'm with you, Noni.
いいわ、忘れて。とにかくあんたが私のサーバントである以上、私は私が信じることしかやらない。私はエミやシローほど甘くはないけど、それでも譲れないものがある。
Yeah.
相手が何者であろうと、それを譲る気なんかない。
All of that is true based on everything we've seen. She's definitely not as naive as Emiya, but yeah, I mean, everything she said's right on the money for her. I can't clamp down on the anger, and that makes me realize I don't feel any sympathy, even after learning about his past. I'm just mad.
ほんと。あーちゃん、返事は？
Wow. Wow, and now she's like, where's your snark, Archer? So I take it out on him as much as I can. The knight in the red coat sighs and assumes what he seems to be his favorite pose. I knew it was going to be the arms crossed.
主が不調ならば、支えるのは進化の役割だからな。君が本調子になるまで、陰ながら見守るとしよ
う。That's an interesting way to frame it. And he replies with an answer that's neither yes or no. Oh no. Please don't switch. God damn it! It really was like 5 minutes. It might have been a little longer than that, but... I wake up. I feel heavy, like there's lead inside my head. But then there's his sleeping things, unless they're both seeing the dreams. I don't know if it's because there's a lot to think about or if I'm having a weird dream. Okay, what was that? Even though I usually don't dream, I feel like I've been experiencing something like a dream recently. Okay. Yeah, now there's the swords again. Yep, now you're imagining his swords. I often vaguely dream of swords. Again, we understand why you do that, but it's interesting that it's his in this route. Among them, his blades appear frequently. I curse at Archer, who's not even here, and get out of bed. It's before 6 a.m. I can't be getting distracted by strange dreams. I should go prepare breakfast. It is 6:01 a.m. right now as I see that. So technically it's after 6 a.m. for me. Saber sees me off as I leave the house. I've gotten used to this lifestyle, and the morning passes by smoothly without anything particular happening. I don't see Tohsaka by the school gate. Since the only lead we have, Issei, ended up innocent, I bet she's busy running around gathering information. But the question is how to do that. Tohsaka's probably investigating the people at school, so I should investigate the building one more time. Seems fair. Well, it's not like we'll be able to conveniently find out what we didn't know before. I used the break and the first half of lunch to look around school, but I couldn't find any abnormalities. Obviously, from what we learned from the route, the dead end that we got in this episode, I mean, that pretty much confirmed that it was Soichiro. Technically didn't, but it feels like it pretty much did. But yeah, I'm definitely curious how we're gonna get around to figuring that out. We must have finished lunch already, as Issei acknowledges my efforts while reading an old poetry anthology.
Thank you. 飯食うからお茶もらうさ。あれ、急須は？
ああ、こっちだ。しかしな、今日は昆布茶しかないがいいか。
なら左右でいいや。俺、どうも昆布茶のドロッとした感じ、ダメだ。
I've never had kelp tea.
そうかそうか。では明日までに職員室から緑茶でももらってこよう。
That would be lovely. I do like some green tea. I leave a rather cheerful Issei to himself and pour myself water before I sit at the table.
じゃ、いただきます。
I don't drink hot water, though. I'll take my water nice and cold if I'm having water. I clap my hands together and open my lunch. But I do like my tea hot. If I'm gonna have tea, I'd rather have hot tea than iced tea. It's honestly one of the only things that I would drink hot is tea. So I don't drink coffee, and I mean hot chocolate, but I might have that like once a year or something. At the same time, someone knocks on the door.
Issei, お客さん。
ん？こんな時間にか。
Issei slowly goes to the door. Oh, there he is! The visitor is Mr. Kuzuki, the teacher in charge of the student council. I run into him often, and I bet he thinks I let myself into the student council room overly frequently. I quietly eat my ground chicken lunch. I must have nothing to report today, as Issei and Mr. Kuzuki are just chatting. I munch on my food. I work on finishing up.
先生、そろそろ時間ですが。
そうか、邪魔をしたな。言わずとも承知しているだろうが、戸締まりは忘れないように。
Oh no.
下校時間も厳守したまえ。
Oh no, bro's about to cook. Bro's about to do something. I bet he wants to make sure that Issei gets home safe.
はいはい、分かってますって。
Mr. Kuzuki leaves and Issei comes back in a rather good mood. Wow, that was a rarity. Soichiro Kuzuki chatting with a student, and with a normally rather shy Issei. Well, they might get along because they're both stubborn, but it's still odd. Well, hey, it's more than that. More than that.
なんだエミヤ。
いや、前から疑問に思っていたんだが、お前とクズキ仲いいのか？
Apparently. Oh, he's surprised.
いや、答えられないならいい。ふとそう思っただけだから気にするな。
Hmm.
ああ、違う違う。そういえばエミヤには言ってなかったな。と気がついてね。
Yep. Yep.
仲がいいのは当然なのだ。
We learn again. We
何
learn.
しろクズキ先生は俺の兄貴分みたいなものだからな。
We basically learned that in the dead end earlier in the episode.
は？
Mr. Kuzuki is like Issei's big brother?
ちょっと待て、それどういうことだ？
だから兄貴分だって。総一郎。クズキ先生は3年ほど前からに居候をしているんだ。見ての通り朴突な人柄だが、裏表のない誠実な心をしている。
That, yep.
で暮らしていて、人間として尊敬できるのだ。
Oh yeah, we are
兄として知るのは当然だろう。
We had one chill, quick day, and now we're right back to cooking.
クズキが竜道寺に住んでいる？
Yes, he does, and the music stopped, and yeah, bro is almost immediately understanding what that means. Oh my god! I feel like the back of my head has been hit, but I force myself to stay calm on the outside and ask Issei to continue.
そういえば最近見慣れない女がいるって言ったよな。そいつのことクズキは知ってるのか？
知ってるも何も。あの女はクズキ先生の言い名付けだ。近々祝言をあげるから、それまで部屋を貸し与えている。
Yep. That's interesting that, assuming that, like, yeah, that is Castor, it's interesting that she's just chilling there. That she's, that she's, like, in, like, human form, presumably. Like, as opposed to, like she's manifesting, as opposed to, like, being in that form where, like, only, like the master can see her. Yeah, it's all coming together. A second shock.
一世、そういうの見慣れない女って言わないんじゃないのか。
I try my best to object through dizziness.
見慣れない女は見慣れない女だ。クズキ先生の言い名付けであろうと、名前も知らない女など、それで十分だろう。
Damn. Issei ends the conversation clearly uncomfortable. Anyways, regardless of the source, this is news I can't ignore. Yeah, this feels like about as close to a confirmation as we're going to get. Soichiro Kuzuki commutes from Ryoto Temple, and a woman who is staying at Ryoto Temple. I heard that Mr. Kazuki's fiance showed up about a month ago. Yeah, it all tracks. If that was Castor, then we pretty much have our answer. Yeah, this would definitely be something worth reporting to Tohsaka.
そういうわけなんだが。
Do you know anything about Soichiro Kuzuki possibly having any connections to, like, mages and stuff? Because, again, you know, the Mato connection, you know, you were surprised, but you did still have some knowledge of the Mato connection. In class after school, there's only 10 minutes until we have to go home, but I tell Tohsaka about Mr. Kuzuki.
どうだろう。一世のこともあるし、竜道寺に住んでるからって怪しいと決めつけるのはどうかと思うんだが。
クズキ先生か。マスターとしての気配っていうより、
Yep.
そもそも魔術師じゃないんだけどな、あの人は。
Okay, interesting. I don't know if she's even listening to me as she frowns like she's not convinced.
魔術師じゃない？なんだ、よかった。それじゃあとりあえずクズキは除外か。
I assume it's not quite that simple.
なんで？そんな怪しいやつ、マスターに決まってるじゃない。
Yep. Okay, I guess I'm starting to get used to this, but I still can't keep up with Tohsaka's thought process.
今夜にでも仕掛けるわよ。学校に手を回して夜勤になるように仕向けるから。
Oh shit.
エミヤ君も準備しておいて。
We're apparently going on the offensive.
ちょっと待て。いくらなんでもそれはなし。クズキを夜勤にするって、それじゃ今夜にでも戦うっていうのかよ。
Why not?
当然でしょ。クズキが明日も学校に来る保証はないもの。
That's fair.
機会は待ったなし。夜まで学校に残らせて、帰り道であいつがマスターかどうか試すのよ。
念のため聞くが、マスターかどうか試すってどうやって？
実力行使。
Yep.
エミヤ君の時と一緒。
Wow, that's crazy. The way she says that sounds oddly honeyed. She really does like pushing people around. Well, she is Tohsaka, and she is based. Maybe in another lifetime, the two of us fought over a playground's peace as children. I don't even know what to say to that.
俺は反対だ。試すにしてももっと穏やかな方法がある。わざわざ危険な真似をしなくてもいい。
危険じゃないわよ。私だって見境なしじゃないわ。影から軽いガンドを撃つだけよ。もし久月先生が一般人でも2日風邪で寝込む程度だし。
Wow.
いや、それも問題だろう。もし久月が本当にマスターだったらそのまま戦闘になる。こっちから手を出す以上話し合いにはならない。
わからないわね。それなら余計好都合じゃないの。一体何が危ないっていうのよ、エミヤ君は。
I mean, it's dangerous in the context that we're engaging in Holy Grail War shenanigans, but I generally get where Rin is coming from here.
そっちこそわからないやつだな。だから、Tohsakaが危ないって話だろ。
Well, it would be dangerous, but like, yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as like a perfectly safe way to take out a master. Tohsaka must have finally realized as she pauses, but only for an instant.
そう。別にいいわよ。それなら私一人でやるだけだもの。
Well, yeah, you're... bro, Shiro's not gonna like that. She decides just like that. Yep. Damn it, I guess there's no use saying anything to Tohsaka once she's made up her mind.
わかった。俺も付き合う。Tohsakaを一人にしたらどんな無茶をするかわからないからな。
That is very fair.
それはこっちのセリフよ。まったく。何
That actually is... I don't know if she actually said that exact line, but that is absolutely a Tohsaka speaking to Shirou thing. Because he does... Yeah, that's actually really funny.
下校時間ね。それじゃあ待ち合わせは午後7時。橋の下の公園。戦闘になるだろうから、ちゃんと準備してくるのよ。
Sounds like a plan. If everything works out, you're invited to a late dinner at our place. She looks away and starts walking. I leave the classroom after her. Oh, okay, this should be interesting. Now we're cooking. Let us cook.
では今夜キャスターのマスターに仕掛けると。
いや、まだ久月がマスターだって決まったわけじゃないんだが、おおむねそうだ。
I give Saber a detailed account of today's events as soon as I get home. Saber agrees with Tohsaka and already seems roused by the prospect.
そういうわけだから、今日の鍛錬はなしだ。夕食もすぐに支度するから待ち合わせに備えよう。で、そっか。そういえば出陣の前に飯食うのって良くないのか？
Not necessarily.
なぜそのようなことを聞くのです。戦闘時に空腹では問題があると思うのですが。
It's definitely better to eat than to skip eating.
いや、腹がもたれるのかなって。あと1時間もないし、夕飯は帰ってきてからのがいいんじゃないかなって。
いえ、そのようなことはないと思いますよ。口にしたものを素早く消化するのも。
Girl really just wants to have dinner.
普段から正しい生活と鍛錬をしていれば、食事はあまり問題ないかと。
I love how she's saying all this. Girl wants to eat, bro.
それはつまり、
Yes.
夕飯は作って OK ってこと？
Get in the kitchen, bitch. That's literally what she's saying.
そちらの方が大変力が出るのでは。
Yep. Make me a sandwich, my Emiya. I see. Well, I've also trained so that I can move right after I eat, so I guess there's no problem. But, well, I'll still make something light just in case.
それじゃあ今に言ってるけど、セイバーは？
シローの邪魔をするわけにはいきません。私はもうしばらく気を整えておきます。
Yeah, any last-minute strategy talk can be shared over dinner. I guess she means to meditate.
了解。飯ができたら呼びに来る。
Sounds like a plan. I like it. The meal right before the battle. Oh, geez, the music changed. That was a sudden music shift. I leave the dojo. It's completely dark outside. We're meeting at 7 p.m., so that means that we will ambush Mr. Kuzuki an hour after that. If Mr. Kuzuki is a master, then we'll have to fight. Castor is a cautious servant. If she found out that her master was attacked, we won't get another chance. Then we have to make sure that it's fatal if we're going to attack. We can't let the opponent escape and don't have the luxury of fleeing ourselves, yeah? It's all or nothing. No matter the opponent, in order to stop Caster from attacking all the people in the town, we must defeat her master. If all goes well, we'll take away his command spells and he won't be a master anymore. But if worse comes to worse and we're unable to manage that, it will probably turn into a fight to the death. Yep, that is the idea.
そうか。武器の一つも持っていかないとな。
A sword? Or twin swords? A weapon from here. The easiest thing to pass energy through is probably a wooden sword. My success rate at strengthening has been going up recently, so even a wooden sword would become a good weapon. But that is only the case for a normal fight. I'll need a better weapon to fight against a servant or master.
欲を言えば、あいつの剣みたいに。
Mm-hmm. Yep. I imagine what I saw in my dream. The black and white twin swords. They're a length that even I'd feel comfortable using. And ultimately, I would be able to fight decently enough with them. I could protect myself without being a burden to Saber and be able to proudly say that I'm her master.
たく、ないものねだりをしてもしょうがないだろう、バカ。
Maybe you'll manifest it at some point. I sigh and head to the porch. I'll just do what I can do. For now, I'll put my energy and strength into making dinner. Saber is so serious, but it seems like she looks forward to meals. It has secretly been my joy to make her happy with it. Aw, that's actually really cute. Bro's gonna be wearing nothing but an apron pretty soon when he's making her dinner. It's 7 p.m. Tohsaka came right on time. I swear, one of the biggest differences between the Fate route and the UBW route is I feel like we're spending a lot less time in this route actually like detailing what they're eating. It's a lot less of a cooking visual novel. Tohsaka came right on time. There she is. In her goated outfit. Like I love Rin, she always looks incredible, but I love her design when she's wearing like her regular clothes as opposed to her school uniform. I like her just regular outfit, the red with the black skirt. It's so clean. It just looks so good on her.
で、そっちの準備はどう?
I hand her the practice sword bag. There's a bokuto, a wooden sword inside. This is all the preparation I can do.
まあ、しょうがないか。そもそも白兵戦ならこっちはセイバーがいるんだし。
Yeah.
エミヤ君は様子を見ているだけでいいかもね。
Yeah. That's fair.
そうだな。セイバーがいる以上、俺はセイバーのフォローをするだけだ。
Yep. Well, I find it hard to think of a situation where I actually need to watch her back.
リン、なぜアーチャーはいないのですか?
Then, with a sharp look, Saber asks a question.
トサカ、アーチャーを連れてきてないのか?
ええ、あいつなら置いてきた。今夜は奇襲だし、セイバーがいるなら必要ないでしょ?
Interesting.
正直なところ、あいつとキャスターを合わせたくないのよ。
Magic resistance is D. That's why. Whereas she has A magic resistance, yeah. Cancels all magecraft below A. In reality, modern mages cannot hurt Saber. Now, that doesn't mean that Caster can't, but yeah, like, Bro has a very mild magic resistance. Nullifies use of magecraft in one step, single action. Magic resistance that is comparable to that of a magic protection amulet, yeah. So yeah, Bro does not have by servant standards at least, a strong magic resistance, so that's the idea here. Tohsaka starts walking. I don't know what she's thinking, but that means that we won't have the help of Archer this time. That's absolutely what she's thinking. It's about the magic resistance or lack thereof in Archer's case relative to Saber, who has almost complete magic resistance. Time passes. We have to cross this intersection to get to Ryoto Temple from school. It's already taken an hour to set up our territory. The simple bounded field set up by Tohsaka.
外から見られるのはアウトだけど、防音だけは完璧よ。ここ一帯ミサイルが落ちても周りには気づかれないわ。
That's so sick. According to Tohsaka, the surrounding area is too quiet. It might also be because Tohsaka's field is working, but everything feels too lifeless. It's already been 7 days since the Holy Grail War started. Seems like the town's spirit is being slowly stripped away without anyone noticing. I mean, it kind of literally is. Oh, here we go, here we go. Here we go, the moment of truth. The potential battle with Soichiro and whether or not he actually is a master. You never know, they could give us a big plot twist here and he's not, but I do, by all accounts, it feels like he has to be. I moved to the wall. I can't even hear the footsteps. There's a figure beneath the streetlight. A tall and lean physique. That familiar figure is definitely Soichiro Kuzuki. See, because we barely ever seen his name, it doesn't sound weird for me to say Soichiro Kuzuki instead of Kuzuki Soichiro. But obviously for the other ones, like Shirou Emiya, it feels weird to not call him Emiya Shirou. And obviously that is how they voice it, so it's not that big of a deal. But there's definitely inconsistencies on my part that I hope don't bother you guys too much. Like for him, I'm probably gonna call him Soichiro Kuzuki because, like I said, when we played the first route, bro was basically a non-factor. So I barely ever saw his name. Mr. Kuzuki passes by in front of us with his usual orderly footsteps. He's too defenseless. I'm assaulted with the feeling that Mr. Kuzuki might be innocent.
やっぱりクズキは違うんじゃないのか。
まあ、やってみればはっきりするでしょう。
Tohsaka seems to be half in doubt as well. Seems like she's still carrying on with her plan as she points her index finger towards Mr. Kuzuki. Gander. It is a curse that lowers the target's physical ability, considered to be simple magecraft. Tohsaka's is more like a gunshot instead of a gander, but I'm sure she'll lower the intensity this time.
準備はいい？ Emiya-kun.
She whispers. There's still time. The possibility that Soichiro Kuzuki is innocent. Isn't there another way other than Gander to check if he's a master or not? I knew we were going to get a choice. I think that's the only option. Dude, if he's not the master, this is gonna be wild. If we just straight kill him and he's not the master, even if we killed him, we wouldn't really know. At least not for a little, not immediately. No, I want to see them go through with this, whether it's the right choice or not. Let's go through with it. I feel like it's very Shirou to stop her, so I feel like this might honestly be the wrong choice. But let's go through with it. I clench my teeth to bear my unease. I can only brace myself now. Mr. Kuzuki's innocent. I just have to remove the curse with all my might. She takes in a small breath. A black shot is released, followed by the sound of something piercing the air. She must have said something aloud on purpose. The gander's speed is slow, and the black haze flies towards Kuzuki like a change-up pitch. A little baseball reference? A wind of disease that will cause him to be bedridden for 2 days. 2 days of not being able to move would be fatal for a master. There has to be some kind of reaction if Mr. Kuzuki is a master. Tohsaka moves. Kuzuki doesn't react. Tohsaka's gander mercilessly hits Soichiro Kuzuki's head. It is interrupted just before that. A robe suddenly appears in the space between them.
Oh.
Was that assassin? Whose voice was that? Oh, it was his voice. The man who was supposed to be hit by the gander looks at us, as if he knew that we were here all along.
Tohsaka!
I immediately pull the wooden sword out of the bag and put magical energy into it. I don't have the time to be fumbling around with strengthening. And there she is! The swirl of cloth in front of Kuzuki now takes shape. Slender limbs appear from the indigo robe. There she is! Teleportation. Actual teleportation is considered true magic in this modern world. Oh, that's a cool shot, the two of them standing side by side. Weirdly, they actually match. I don't know why, but they actually look good next to each other. This dark witch caster uses such a mystic with ease and appears before us.
忠告したはずですよ、宗一郎。このようなことになるから、
あなたは竜道寺にとどまるべきだと。
She must not think anything of us as Castor talks calmly to her master, Kuzuki.
そうでもない。実際に獲物は釣れた。
Yep. Yep. Yep.
そうね。あまり大きな魚ではなさそうだけど、大量であることは間違いないわ。さあ、そこから出てきなさい。バカな魔術師さん。
Baka. Oh, foolish mage. Love it. It'd be difficult to run now. No, if Castor and her master are in front of us, then all there is to do is fight them, even if this is the middle of the town. But before that...
出てこないの？残念ね。顔ぐらいは見ておきたかったのですけど。
何よあのタヌキ。こっちの素性なんてもう分かってるくせに。
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm with Rin on this. She's playing a weird act, because Castor definitely knows who we are. Tohsaka curses in her hiding spot. She must have heard that.
3秒あげるわ、お嬢さん。それであなたがしたことをそのまま返してあげましょう。
Damn. Castor says cheerfully and points her hand towards us. That's actually pretty badass. Yeah. The absurdity of what she did before returns to my mind. Now, admittedly, we're not quite at the temple, so she might be a little limited compared to what she can do at Ryoto Temple, but she's obviously still, at least as far as pure-blown magecraft, on a level far beyond Rin, let alone Shirou. But obviously, you know, servant-wise, it's just a weird matchup because Saber is a hand-to-hand and Castor is, well, a caster, right? So it's interesting what that battle might look like. And then there's always Assassin in her back pocket. She's not that naive. I'm sure she would destroy this whole area along with the wall that we're hiding behind.
エミヤ君、合図をしたら飛んで。セイバー、準備はいい？
I sense her nodding behind me. But there's something that I need to confirm before that.
すまん。それは後にしてくれ、トサカ。
え？
I don't wait for her reply. I go out into the intersection from the shelter, wooden sword in hand. Okay, let's see it. Where's this gonna go?
シロ！
Tohsaka must not have it in her to leave me alone in this and follows me out.
あら、意外ね。少しは物分かりが良くなったのかしら、坊や。
Boya? Castor watches us calmly. Kuzuki stands next to her. The distance between us is about 10 meters. No matter how I think about it, Castor's fingertips would be much faster than me running to them. With full knowledge of the situation, I step forward. I have to do something before we fight. That is...
遠坂とエミヤか。マトだけではなく、お前たちまでマスターとはな。魔術師とはいえ、因果な人生だ。
Interesting. Although you are mages, fate certainly still has its way with you. Interesting. To confirm the identity of Soichiro Kuzuki as the one Castor is protecting. Huh.
どうしたエミヤ？話があるのではないのか？
You're really gonna ask, are you Castor's master? Like, just straight up, even with this scene. Do you just need to hear it from his mouth? Or do you actually feel like there's some, like, trickery afoot? Because Castor is very, like, trickery. You know, like, she is a next-level trickster, but he asks in his usual manner. I don't feel the presence of a mage from Mr. Kuzuki. That goes back to that, though. Like, right, like, is he a fake master? I mean, that's a crazy thought, but it would be kind of clever if Castor was, like, parading around a fake master, and so if Kuzuki gets killed, he's not... she still has her master safe. Like, could it be some double fake where it's actually Issei? Is that where this is gonna go? Or could it even be someone other than Issei or Soichiro? No, I don't even feel a desire for victory in this so-called war. Then...
クズキ、あんた、キャスターに操られてるのか？
It's possible that Mr. Kuzuki is being manipulated by Castor, like Archer said. Until I get this cleared up, I just can't fight him. I can feel Castor's desire to kill me. Yeah, her face, kind of serious. At least what we could see of it. That alone tells me that question is off limits for her.
うるさい坊や。殺してしまおうかしら。
Yet her words are not quite a threat. However,
待て。その質問の出所は何だ、エミヤ。
interesting. Oh man, dude, I'm so locked in. This is so interesting. Like, I'd be excited to see what the Saber Castor fight looks like, but this conversation has 100. I was gonna say 10, but let's up it. 120% of my attention right now. Mr. Kuzuki stops her in his usual manner.
疑問には理由があるはずだ。言ってみるがいい。
My throat is dry. It must be Castor's murderous glare. The woman in the indigo robe tells me without words that she'll kill me if I say something wrong. I bear it in.
あんたがどうやってマスターになったかは知らない。けど、あんたはまともな人間だろ。
Interesting.
キャスターがやっていることを見逃しているはずがない。
Interesting. So you're doubling down on the I believe that Mr. Kuzuki's a good guy. Which obviously, despite all the leeway that you've given Shinji, you never, I think, really went this far. Where it's like, oh no, Shinji's a good guy. But you really believe in him. I mean, obviously this guy is a mentor figure to Issei.
だっていうのに見逃してるってことは、あんたは知らないんじゃないかって思っただけだ。
Interesting. I glare back at Castor.
キャスターがやっていることだと？
ああ。そいつは竜道寺に巣を張って、町中の人間から魔力を集めてる。ここ最近連続している昏睡事件は、全部そいつの仕業だ。
Interesting. I mean, yeah, like, let's see how he reacts to this.
今までも、そしてこれからも犠牲者は増え続ける。キャスターが魔力を吸い上げ続ける限り、いずれ死んじまう人間だって出てくるだろう。そいつは、町の人間は生贄だって言った。取り返しのつかないことになるのは。
Interesting. He made that face. That face doesn't give much away, but it does give a little bit of the vibe that he was not aware of this.
なるほど、そういうことか。通常善良な人間ならばキャスターを放置できない。
はあ。
にもかかわらず、マスターである私がキャスターを放置しているのは彼女に操られているからだと考えたわけだ。
Is bro about to hit us with the I'm not a virtuous person? Like, just straight up? Like, because this guy's so matter-of-fact and direct, right? Because, like, Kotomine likes to play the memes, right? Like, he likes to play up the character. He's very much like a performer, an entertainer of sorts. I know that's a weird way to describe Kirei, but he's playing up his own bit, in a way. Soichiro is the exact opposite. He is so deadpan and so serious. So it's like really interesting the way that he's framing this, like very matter-of-factly. It's in character for him, but it's interesting.
もしあんたがキャスターの行為を知っていて放っておいているなら、あんたはただの殺人鬼だ。俺も容赦はしない。けど、あんたが操られているんなら別だ。
And Castor's been quiet the last few rounds here between Shirou and Kuzuki.
俺たちはキャスターだけを倒す。
いや。今の話は初耳だ。
Oh, that's awkward. His statement leaves no room for interpretation. He doesn't seem to be lying either. Soichiro Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school. Though relieved, I still keep my guard up against Castor. Mr. Kuzuki is also a victim if he's being manipulated. So all that's left is to defeat Castor. But...
だがエミヤ、キャスターの行いはそう悪いものなのか?
Yep, there's the but. There's the big but. So he didn't know, and yet still, Soichiro Kuzuki says this as well. Oh, even she seems surprised by that.
他人が何人死のうが私には関わりのないことだ。加えてキャスターは命までは取っていない。
Damn, that's kind of based.
まったく 随分と半端なことをしているのだな、キャスター。ここまでするのなら、一息で根こそぎ奪った方が良いだろうね。
Holy shit! Bro just said, if you're gonna cook, let's fucking cook. Like, fuck that. Like, let's fucking, like, I don't dip one toe in, girl. Like, we're either staying out of the pool or we're diving in this damn pool. We're diving right in the deep end. That's crazy. That gave us new servant data. It's gotta be on Caster. Oh, they confirmed the master, I guess. They probably didn't do that until now. I love the alignments, too. Neutral evil, chaotic madness, chaotic good. That's interesting. Neutral balance, of course. Perfect. Lawful balance, and then lawful good. I love it. Anyways. Was that all we got, or is there anything else? No hero info, of course, because we don't know who she is, and then... powers, yeah, we know all those powers, and then, yeah, nothing on a noble phantasm, of course. The way he says it is no different than usual. He gives his honest opinion. Soichiro Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school. I love how he's going through the same thing again, of like, they're re-emphasizing that he's the same person that he's always been.
すべての人間は無関係だが、まあ私が何者であるかはそちらで言い当てただろう。私は魔術師などではない。ただのトイレにいる朽ち果てた殺人鬼だよ。
What the fuck? I wonder, and this is just total spitballing here, but I wonder if I don't know the specifics of how he ended up with Caster or how that works, but I wonder if this is normal that the Caster class ends up with a non-mage. I wonder if that's an actual thing in the Holy Grail War, because she is a mage. So it's like you still technically have a mage in your group. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's interesting. Kuzuki takes a step back. He watches us from behind Caster.
キャスターの傀儡というのは当たっているがな。
Yo, that's a crazy thing for him to say.
私は聖杯戦争など知らん。キャスターが殺し、お前たちが殺し合うというのなら。
I'm not gonna lie, this guy's kind of low key though. Soichiro's kind of based.
もっとも、私も自分の命が一番可愛い。キャスターが何を企もうと知らん。
Damn.
私はただ。私を阻む者を殺すだけだ。
It's so interesting because he's so deadpan and like it's such a like boring portrayal, but I kind of love it.
では好きにしろキャスター。生かすも殺すもお前の自由だ。
Caster stands in front of us smiling in victory. In very different ways, but they definitely are both underhanded foxes. Tohsaka clicks her tongue and doesn't move. Or rather, she can't move. In terms of skill as a mage, we aren't a match for Caster even put together. No, because you barely add anything. I mean, Rin's great, and she's no match for Caster, and calling you a mage is practically a stretch, bro. For masters who claim to be mages, an opponent like Caster far exceeds what we're capable of. Oh, Saber time. A voice behind me. Before I can turn around, here she goes. The Knight of the Sword, the Servant Saber, dashes forward. Here we go. Oh, that was such a good conversation. And now we get the fight. My voice can't even keep up. Saber, already clad in silver, charges towards Kuzuki like a gust of wind. Caster confronts her with the spell. She recites 5 verses. If Saber is a gust of wind for completing 10 meters in a breath, then Caster must be lightning for casting a spell even faster. Well, that's one of her powers. A bolt of lightning from a I don't know if that's supposed to be from or if it form. I don't know. A bolt of lightning from a raging storm. 5 bullets of light are shot in less than a second and stab at Saber like fatal thorns. Hell yeah, dude. Let Saber cook! Oh, that's so sick. A-class magic resistance. That shot looks so sick. Caster screams. Even Archer had to dodge Caster's spell, but Saber is nullifying it just by glaring at it. That's so broken. Yet her focus is not Caster. Her target, the opponent that she must slash, is none other than the master, Soichiro Kuzuki. Saber slashes Kuzuki without hesitation. Is that it? Soichiro-sama? Silence returns to the intersection. Man, did you really, genuinely like him? Saber is frozen after slashing her sword. Everyone here assumes the match is decided because of how quick the attack was. Yes. Everyone except Soichiro Kuzuki, who stands there calmly. What the fuck? What the fuck? What are we about to see? What the fuck? Okay. Who the fuck is this interlude for? Who would even be the Oh, is it going to be Assassin? Charge, halt, attack. Because, yeah, Assassin's not here. Having repelled all of Caster's divine words, Saber concluded the match without any opening for a counterattack. Okay, we're just changing perspectives to... Well, not even really to Saber, but okay. The speed at which she charges, the force of her planted feet, and the horizontal line her sword draws brings an unavoidable strike. She swings her invisible sword at the enemy master. Perfectly timed attack. With a slash so satisfying that would sever a large tree, Saber splits Soichiro Kuzuki in twain. No, it should have split him in two. She gasps in bewilderment. What the fuck is happening? Her eyes must be playing tricks. Did he just no-sell it? Saber stares at the enemy before her in astonishment, still mid-swing. What the fuck is happening? Stop cucking me. What is going on? Comprehension eludes her. The fatal attack cut a perfect line. That attack is stopped. Just shy of the enemy's body, the sword was caught between... What? Is such a miracle possible? Her sword has been stopped by her enemies, Soichiro Kuzuki. What are they cooking? Between raised knee and cocked elbow, the man stopped her high-speed slash by catching it in between his elbow and knee. Bro, what the fuck? Of course, she is unaware. There is an Eastern martial arts technique that is used to catch an opponent's weapon with one's bare hands, and there are experts today who still practice it. What the fuck? Even then, she wouldn't have stood there with naked amazement had it been a normal battle. But this is a servant battle. Yeah, that's fair. And the enemy is just a human. Yeah, even so, yeah, it's like... But to stop a fatal attack from a sword blade that cannot be seen with his bare hands... There is no way this man could possibly be sane. Well, he was just casually talking about how he's like a murderer, withering away, basically. Like, obviously this guy's not sane, but that's psychotic to just casually just catch this shit. His voice is deep, as if echoing from the depths of the earth. Oh my god. Okay, he already was winning me over. I think he might have just fully won me over. I think I might be in on Kuzuki as like a goated master as well. What the fuck? Saber's body moves. She tries to pull back her sword with all her might. Do not tell me. And in that instant... What the fuck? What is happening? A sudden surprise blow strikes the back of her head. This might have been from Caster, maybe. I don't know. She doesn't understand what is going on at all. Neither do I! It is her first time fighting someone who can stop a sword without any arms or armor at all. Wait, was that attack done by his bare hands as well? What the fuck? She must have been punched. The back of her head was struck at such close range she could feel her opponent's very breath. What is happening? She avoids it without knowing what it is. Something grazes her temple. Saber perceives that as a fist strengthened by some kind of mage craft and leaps back. What? Well, I mean, it could be strengthened by the caster, but still. As she wields a long weapon, she is at a disadvantage at close range against an unarmed opponent. Saber retreats to a range where she can make use of her sword. What the fuck? She faces the enemy the entire time. This is wild. Even if bro is powered up by caster, this is still crazy. Her only goal is to move out of the range advantageous to her opponent. It is a basic established tactic to pursue a retreating target, but he does not give chase. Though he will be defeated if he remains stationary, Caster's master does not move. He strikes her at the solar plexus. What the fuck? The wind is knocked out of her. She feels the impact. The attack is hindered by her armor, which keeps the blow from piercing her body. Bro, we have a master that's fucking cooking right now. This is crazy. The impacts continue. They are nothing more than human fists that precisely target her vital areas. Bro. My guy. My goat. My king. What the fuck? Yeah, you notice the form, too, with the way his fists, he has his fingers, that's a specific form. It's not just a regular fist. Could she even comprehend in time? By the time she realized that those stone-like fingers were the cause of impact, the match had already been decided. Holy shit! The rain of fists repeat. His fists are fired in rapid succession with an intensity and weight as if they are made of divine iron. How can it be explained? His arms are flexible like a whip, but only move at right angles. If his arms are shot out in a flash, the way his forearms follow are the technique of a demon. Bro is literally like an archer. Bro is literally some archer ass who just trained like a demon for his whole life, probably, to get this good for practically no reason. But bro, he's getting to cash in right now. The barely perceptible blows target all of her vitals. He allows no counterattack. Even her arms are targeted, and that pain reaches her core even through her armor. The attacks all come from the outside and shift inside. A wide swing of the arm changes direction using the elbow as the fulcrum, attacking Saber from all directions. The attacks are keen and cause dulling. Though not an instant death, each blow contributes to a slow-acting poison. That is the death that seeps in with each blow. Each blow cannot be avoided, and each strike alone is not enough to maim. But the pain numbs her mind each time. Yeah, it's wearing her down. And with the opening from that, his fist seeks the back of her head once again, like the curling coal of death's sight. Oh, that's such a cool description. Like the curling coal of death's scythe. Hard to say, though. Intuition allows her to avoid it. The attacks going for her arms or chest are fine, but if the back of her head is struck, she's done for. And so Saber concentrates her muddied mind on that one blow. He is a beast that could block her sword empty-handed. Apparently, intuition alone gives her the insight necessary to face this unknown style that she has never faced the likes of. The enemy's arm stops. His stance is like his fists, firm like rock. Bro, I love how this was all about Caster, and bro just said, nah, fuck Caster, I'm the fucking beast here. Fuck servants, this is master time. Bro, I'll take on Saber myself. The man's body moves. What was different about this attack? Saber, able to avoid all fatal blows up until this point, could not evade the next blow. Her consciousness fades. The impact landing on the back of her head shakes her brain. This is crazy. Is bro actually about to beat Saber? Even then, she raises both arms. The man's attack cannot penetrate her armor. Then, the man will go for her unprotected face. Saber raises both arms and protects her own face. The impact weaves past her limbs. It is like a snake that crawls through a dense forest. Yeah, that's the way they're portraying it. It's very, like, fluid and weird. The enemy's fist expertly makes its way through her upraised arms. Her consciousness drifts. The body of the metaphorical snake, his left elbow, hammers into her collarbone. Ow. Saber avoids it by retreating a short distance and adjusts the grip on her sword. Fair enough. The course of the fist after that, she prepares for the blow coming from the left that will change direction at the elbow and aim at the back of her head. She cannot afford to make light of him. If her opponent demands her consciousness, then so be it. In return, she will claim his arms. She opens her eyes and is astonished by the change. Using his elbow as the fulcrum, the blow comes straight down from above. The circular orbit of attacks up until now change it to a straight line. She immediately moves her neck to avoid the blow going from the top of her head. The impact falls on her shoulder. As she glares at the enemy for wrecking her shoulder, a freezing sensation shoots down her spine. The man cocks his upper body. This is like a fever dream. This is crazy that this is just all like Shirou and Saber happening like in like a really short period of time before we, you know, go back to Shirou and the rest of what's going on. His right arm, still this entire time, finally moves. At the height of her throat, his arm is released like a cannonball. Unlike the previous attack, following a downward line, this jab comes straight in like a thrust. His fist flies at Saber. With such force and precision, it will skewer her. The blow comes with all of his might and will easily pierce her throat, sever bone, and rip her head off. But it misses. Surprise attacks don't work on her. Intuition, like seeing the future, is hers to command. The snake's fist grazes past her neck. Seeing that, she steps into attack, but at that moment, right beside her neck, an unbelievable sound. Jesus Christ. The snake's fang pierces her. Yo! This is a new OST, if you could even call it that, and a very new shot. The instant Saber avoids his fist, his fingers grab her with a sickening crunch. Yep. It pulled back. Yep, like an anchor. That's a good way to describe it. I understand what they're trying to describe. It's definitely interesting. Oh my god. Dude. Oh my god, that's a shot. Bro. And they're doing this. Dude, I have chills. Are they about to beat Saber? Because that's the thing, right? I've talked about how this arc, in theory, is about Rin and Archer. Are they about to actually kill off Saber? Could they possibly be going in this direction? Like, would they do that? The astonishment passes through her as a shudder. Because I don't, like I said, we're even getting an interlude. This is not a dead end. This is not a bad end. This is the right path. Yes, a hand is usually something used to grab, not punch. They're even doing the, like, the glitching screen. He must be receiving aid from Caster's magecraft as his fingers easily crush Saber's neck. What the fuck? Okay, she's still alive. Saber raises her sword. She swings to cut off the enemy's arm before her neck is crushed. This is where we're going to get a little caster move or his other arm. But she is unable to finish her attack. Bro. Before she could bring her sword down, her entire body is swung like a sword in his hands. She feels herself fly through the air. Okay. She's probably still alive. He swings like a baseball pitcher. Another reference to baseball. While still holding Saber's neck, the man throws her with one arm. A fastball using a person in place of a ball. Yeah, we had a change up and now we have a fastball. I assume she's still alive. There's no way she could break her fall. He tears away at her neck as he throws. She then smashes against a concrete wall at 200 kilometers an hour! Nani, the fuck? What the fuck? Bro, are they about to kill Sam? I'm like at a loss for words right now. Her body is forced to shut down. And that's gonna be the end of the interlude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Yeah. Dot, dot, fucking dot. These ellipses go so hard right now. Well, I was not... Okay. That was not on my list of things that might happen. Was Kuzuki is a fucking, like, martial artist god and just fucking owns Saber. That was really not on my list. Everyone watches in astonishment. I assume even Castor's like, what the fuck? Even if she did power him up, I'm sure she's shocked. It's not just me and Tohsaka. Even Castor, who ought to have been thrilled by a turn in her favor, stares at her own master in wonder. Saber's swift attack to Kuzuki's counterattack. From the nightmare-like neck grab to the impressive throw, it was all incredible, even to the losing side. Saber doesn't move. She was thrown by her neck and smashed back first into the wall, apparently at 200 kilometers an hour. Her neck injury must be fatal. On top of that, she hit the wall at a speed that was clearly meant to finish her. I don't think it killed her, but I'm sure she can't move. What the fuck? So maybe we're gonna get bailed out and be able to narrowly save her life, but holy shit. At the least, she'll be laying on the ground until the wounds on her neck and bruises all over her body heal. Yeah, what the fuck? I murmur without realizing. Even though his fists were strengthened by Castor's magecraft, Kuzuki's body is still human. Who would think that he would be able to overwhelm a servant in melee combat? Not me! But here we are. Bro's like, nah, fuck that shit. The lean figure turns. Yeah, it's kind of like a reverse relationship. He's kind of the servant, and she's kind of like a super master. Because she's a caster, so she's like a super mage. Yep. That's crazy. There are also masters like me that have no choice but to take the vanguard. Bro, what a badass. He just proved that to us just now. Therefore, these two are, yeah, it's like a reverse relationship, kind of. Their fighting roles as master and servant are completely swapped, which makes sense because she's a mage. She's just a OP as fuck mage. I bet, like, he told her all this and she was just like, yeah, okay, sweetie. The enemy, Kuzuki, stares at Tohsaka. Saber is less of a threat to him than Tohsaka, who can attack at a distance. That makes sense, actually. So Kuzuki is wary of targeting us. Yeah, that makes sense. He feels that mages ought to battle other mages. That makes sense, too. Interesting. He nods silently and walks towards us like he's willing to defer to her. Because he's acting as the servant, she's acting as the master, but interesting. Behind him, Castor faces the collapsed Saber. There, I'm so... Bro.
Saber は面食らってやられたけど、あいつのネタは分かってる。要は近づかれる前に倒せばいいんでしょ?
Yeah, the surprise factor is gone for sure, but I will say, like, I am actually so interested in their relationship, the relationship between Castor and Soichiro. Because, like, she even said Soichiro-sama, and, like, I am so curious about their relationship based on everything we've seen. It's nothing like I feel like anyone imagined. It's really interesting, and I like want to know more about their dynamic. I'm like really interested in Caster and Kuzuki's whole deal. Tohsaka slowly retreats, glaring at Kuzuki. A fight between a mage and a warrior is a fight for distance. No matter how many monstrous fighting techniques he may have, Kuzuki has no magic resistance. We can win if we can land a hit at range. Victory is ours if we can manage to cast a spell before he reaches us. Kuzuki faces Tohsaka and doesn't move. Caster walks towards the wall that Saber was thrown at. That action is a mistake. There's an opening I could take advantage of, so I'll... Oh, God. After all that. Oh, my God. Oh, God. This is a really, really, really fucking hard choice. There's an opening I could take advantage of, so I'll... I feel like Caster shouldn't get this close. I feel like it's go help Saber. Right? Because, like... Yeah, I can't imagine, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like, even though I still think, like, Caster is arguably more of a threat in general, I feel like in the context of what Shirou could do, he might actually have a better chance against Caster than Soichiro. I'm gonna go help Saber. I'll protect Saber. Even though she might not be able to defeat him, she should have an advantage if she focuses on retreat. There's about 5 meters between us. If Kuzuki takes another step, Tohsaka should be able to react and dodge any strike, yep. But Saber is different. Her neck is half cut off like Ryder, and she's been thrown into a wall. Saber's situation is far more dire. Even if she's invincible against mages, she'll be easily defeated by Caster in that state. I grip my sword and charge towards Kuzuki in front of... Oh, that's not even what I wanted you to do! My true objective is to reach Saber before she's attacked by... Yeah, okay. Okay, well, he is getting... Okay, what I want him to do is what his end goal of this move is to reach Saber before she's attacked by Caster. I'll take a swing as I pass. I'm sure he'll dodge it, but Tohsaka should be able to take advantage of the opening. I swing the sword as I pass by Kuzuki's side. You know, that was a mistake. He doesn't even do anything. The wooden sword crumbles to pieces and the blow from his fist makes me lose my footing. He rushes in at Tohsaka in an instant. Oh, we might have fucked up. Time stops. I think we fucked up. Tohsaka's astonished, but she immediately points her hand at Kuzuki. And the right hand of the enemy, the hand that wrecks Saber's neck, strikes her in the chest. Yep. Fuck. That's not good. Okay, she tanked it. She's still alive. All of the air in Tohsaka's lungs goes out. Then, oh fuck, there it is. A hammering blow like a battering ram against a castle strikes her face mercilessly. Oh no. God damn it. I witness my own fate as I see her miserable state. Tohsaka's face isn't there. Jesus Christ. There's nothing left where Kuzuki's blow struck. Fucking hell. And that's just it.
キャスター同様、判断を誤ったな、エミヤ。
Yep. We both... I can't raise my head. Just like a student that doesn't know the answer and can't bear to face the teacher, I can't look at Kuzuki. Ironic. I stand there, unable to walk.
人を殺したのは、これで2人目だが。
Huh. A footstep. The murderer named Soichiro Kuzuki slowly walks towards me.
やはり、何の考えも浮かばないな。
It fits his personality. Bro just probably doesn't feel anything in general. Yep, and then he takes us out. With an unbelievable sound, he pierces through my chest. And that'll be a dead end. Yep. That was crazy. This is crazy. I'm kind of glad that Bro got to cook all of us. Even though, you know, I don't like to see Rin getting cooked. Especially, but, oh man, dude, Soichiro is such a beast. I'm so here for this guy. Yep, that's fine. Let's do a Tiger Dojo. Why not?
はーい、みんな元気？ちょっとした気の緩みから大惨事、あっけなくデッドしちゃったシローを救うタイガー道場第19回。
Nice.
今回は特別ゲスト 一晩のリンをお呼びしています。
What the fuck is this gonna look like? Oh my god.
リンさん、気分はどうですか？
Not great.
シロぶっちぎる。
Based.
素敵だ。
Of course, Ilya loves it.
あー、気持ちはわかりますが、抑えて抑えて。
Nice.
要はあれよね。リンさんよりセーバーちゃんを優先したシローの行動が業務上過失致死になってしまったわけでした。
I mean, I get it, she does have that A-level magic resistance too, as well. But it's also, again, I guess in a weird way, underestimating Kuzuki again.
まあでもしょうがないわよね。
Hmm.
リンさんは女としての魅力で
Wow!
ここ一番で守ってもらえなかったわけだし、
That's crazy.
まあ、勝負は時の運。次はこうならないように
Wow!
徹しなさい。
They're not even giving us advice. They're giving Rin advice. This is brutal. What the fuck?
でもシローも反省すること。あの状況ならセーバーちゃんより遠坂さんを優先するべきなんだ。
There you go. There you go.
セーバーちゃんを見捨てるのは心苦しいだろうけど、
Yep.
ここは心を鬼にして遠坂さんでも守ってあげなさいね。
Oh, trust me. Just Tohsaka is something we could work on. You know, I know all about a girl telling me to only go for just her. Of course, her name started with an M, but you know, I think you might be familiar. I'm sure a decent amount of the people watching this know who I'm talking about. Oh, what the fuck?
いや、首が動いた。
Yes, it did. And now it's looking away from us and in the air.
リンさん、つかのことをお聞きしますが、どこに行かれるのでしょう。
Oh my god.
ちょっとそこまでシロを殺しに。
Based. I love it. Well deserved.
逃げて、おじいちゃん逃げて。
Wow.
やっぱり素敵だ。
She really is, Ilya. That Tiger Dojo was amazing. Love it. Protect Tohsaka. I'll protect Tohsaka. Saber isn't dead yet. Yeah, Saber is Saber. Like I like it's one of those weird things where it's like I feel like I'm so thrown off by the situation, but like yeah, it definitely makes sense to prioritize Tohsaka over Saber for multiple reasons. Even if Kuzuki was an unexpected monster, Saber still hasn't lost yet. On top of that, Caster shouldn't be able to finish Saber off. Yeah, that goes to the whole, like, magic resistance level A thing. I tighten my grip on the Bokuto in my hand. My eyes lock on Kuzuki to miss not even a blink. The moment he turns towards Tohsaka, I'll move between them. Knowing Tohsaka, I'm sure she's going to leap to the side and shoot Kuzuki. There was no time to take action. It was in an instant. The moment I thought Kazuki's body wavered, he was in front of Tohsaka. That's crazy. Tohsaka's astonished, but she immediately points her hand at Kuzuki. That's all the same, basically. The visuals are a little different, because we're up close, too, but... And the right hand of the enemy, the hand that wrecks Saber's neck, strikes her in the chest. So that all happens the same. Time seems to stop. All of the air in Tohsaka's lungs goes out from that blow. This is it. If a mage can't breathe, they can't cast a spell incantation or carry out most of their abilities. Though as she just barely managed to leap back, it seems she only had the wind knocked out of her. But the next attack, even though she jumped back, it was only a meter, so yeah, we know this is going literally right at her head. Such a distance is inconsequential to someone like Kuzuki. I move in between them. Using my wooden sword as a shield, I plant myself between attacker and prey. He thrusts his fist. I can't even see it? How did Saber dodge something like this? I mean, she barely was dodging it, to be fair. I desperately protect my left side. Yep, there goes the Bokuto. Heavy striking sound follows, along with the sound of my sword snapping. I see Kuzuki coming with his next attack. I'm going to die. Instinctively, I know it's coming. The strengthened wooden sword was the same as steel. If he can destroy that with one blow, then he can destroy my body no matter where he hits me. I can't stop him. Is this gonna be Archer? Last second Archer? God, if they killed Shirou, I would fucking lose my mind. Tohsaka is coughing painfully behind me. I can't see his attacks, and my only weapon was destroyed. His fist aims precisely for my temple. They're being so dramatic about this. Emi Shirou will die from that hammer-like blow. I'll die if I don't stop it. A weapon. I'm no match for him. I need it. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna be the double. It's gonna be the twin swords. I need a strong weapon to make up for the difference in our strength. It closes in on my brain. I imagine myself dying. No, if that happens, I will end up dead if I can't stop it. People die when they are killed. Oh my god. A weapon. I need a weapon. A weapon that won't get destroyed by him. Not a wooden sword taken in haste, but a proven strong weapon. An extraordinary weapon beyond my ken. Yeah, like the one he uses. Oh my god, dude, Archer's abs. I want to lick them so bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Torres. Oh.
Yes! 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 He's doing the thing! Like in the Fate route, but it's not gonna be the same weapon. Then I'll make them. I'll make them, even if it's impossible. I'll make them at any cost. Strengthening and reproducing. Something that does exist and something that doesn't. I'll force myself to believe that they're exactly the same. I don't have time. I can't overthink it. Fake it no matter what. I don't care if I break or lose something in the process. Faster. I don't care if it's fake. Hurry. Forget it all. I'm not the only life at stake here. If I don't hurry, if I can't stop it, Tohsaka will. There it is. There it is. There it is. A sight beyond hope. Tohsaka speaks for me. A muffled voice. Was that Kuzuki? Something might have happened to my ears. I can't hear properly. No, not just my ears, but the sensation in my limbs is numb. We got the, oh yeah. Only my right eye is functioning adequately. I see Kuzuki's approaching fist. It's like watching someone else block it. My arms feel hollow. I don't have any sensation in them, but I swear I could hear my nerves fraying. His twin swords are in my hands. The Yang Kansho and Yin Bakuya. The name of the swords. Even though they were reproduced haphazardly, the swords still present themselves to their owner. But I'm sorry. I can't project you perfectly with my skills. We spring apart. The twin swords that parried 30 strikes shatter, as if to say they can't take anymore. It's not because they lost to Kuzuki's fists. The twin swords disappeared because I couldn't maintain my image of them. That makes sense. The twin swords must have been unexpected, as Kuzuki shows hesitation for the first time. Then, a strong wind stirs up in the intersection.
Saber!
She's back up. I look toward the wall. Saber must have recovered as she stands. Caster in front of her rapidly steps back. Yes, that's why it was a mistake. Just because she was defeated, it didn't mean that she lost her powers. So there's no way Saber, with strong magic resistance, could be cornered by Caster. It's Kuzuki's role to finish Saber off. Despite that, Caster made a mistake, yeah. She seemed to be planning something, but that excessiveness cost her the chance of victory. Was she trying to turn Saber into her puppet or something? Kuzuki retreats. He stands protective of Caster and as a ward against Saber. Yeah, it's the right move. He makes an apt decision.
Master. いいえ、セイバーは手負いです。あなたなら先ほどのように。
二度通じる相手ではない。侮ったのは
Yeah.
私の方だったな。
But he's also good enough to recognize that fact. That's crazy, dude. I can't get over Kuzuki. What the fuck?
あと一芸手を凝らすべきだった。
Kuzuki is correct. Saber was cornered because Kuzuki's attacks were unnatural. But that was before. I wouldn't be able to deal with them no matter how many times I saw them, but Saber is already used to them. Tactics are supposed to be unknown to an opponent. Kuzuki's attacks are powerful, but since they are so unique, their exposure renders future attacks followable. The first strike must be fatal. The difference between skills that have been polished to an art form and a single move that has been trained to the utmost limits.
わかりましたわ、宗一郎。
I want so much more about these two and their relationship. Dude, I'm so into it. I just love everything about this dynamic. It's so cool. It's so interesting. It's such a cool twist on like the whole concept. And I love stuff like that, especially when done really well. Like, this is so interesting to me.
ええ。サーバントである以上、マスターの命令には従わないといけませんものね。
Okay, girl. Who was that directed to? She spits in disgust and flutters her robe dramatically. What the hell? There is nothing after that. After the indigo robe wraps around Kuzuki's body, they vanish from the intersection like magic. Was that teleportation again?
やられた。いくらなんでもこうなったらクズキは竜道寺から降りてこない。
Yeah, good luck trying to beat him now. After Castor and Kuzuki disappear, without concern over her wounded chest, Tohsaka grits her teeth in regret. I understand how Tohsaka feels. At this point, Kuzuki won't come out of the temple. If we are to defeat Castor, we're going to have to take the fight to them this time and make an attack on their territory, which is bad mojo. But Assassin is the gatekeeper at the temple, and Kuzuki and Castor are not opponents that can be defeated easily. We'll be defeated again if we just attack recklessly. Yeah, pretty much. Like, that whole setup is almost unbreakable. Yet we have no other choice but to go to the temple if we want to defeat Castor.
リン、忠告しますが、あの寺はサーバントにとって鬼門です。アーチャーを動員したところで、力押しでは勝機は薄い。
私だってあの山がどれぐらい変化ぐらい分かってる。悔しいからってすぐに追いかけたりしないし、あなたのマスターを強攻策になんか巻き込まないわ。
ではキャスターを撃つのは諦めると。
冗談。やられっぱなしは性に合わないし、何よりキャスターは放っておけない。そのあたり、あなたのマスターも同意見だと思うけど。
Basically, we're sore losers. Because even though, like, given this was like an ambush situation, Kuzuki and Castor getting away mostly unharmed is essentially a win for them and a loss for us. She turns her gaze towards me. Saber follows Tohsaka's lead and looks to me as if there's any question.
当たり前だ。いつまでもあの二人を放ってはおけない。
Yeah, especially because they presented themselves as enough of villains for Bro to be like, nah, we gotta stop them.
キャスターは魔力集めをやめないだろうし、マスターであるクズキも止めないと言った。なあ、二人を倒すだけだ。竜道寺にはアサシンもいるようだけど、キャスターのマスターであるクズキを倒せばことは済む。
Problem is he's gonna be just as secure in that situation.
そうね。クズキ先生がおとなしくレイジを消させてくれるとは思えないけど、とにかく取り押さえればなんとかなる。
He's still probably your best bet, all things considered, but it's still gonna be very difficult to say the least.
当面はこっちも作戦を立てるしかないわけだけど。
Then, I don't know why, but Tohsaka suddenly...
それよりエミヤ君、さっきのは何？あなたの魔術って強化だけじゃなかったの？
Yeah, it's like, what, you hiding stuff from me? Like, she asks with a serious expression as if watching an enemy. Yeah, this is a rightful reaction from Rin, because it's like, you're presenting yourself as this super weak mage, but you pulled out a trick a really cool trick that I had no knowledge of you being able to do, and we were supposed to be really open about our abilities. I'm at a loss. The magecraft from earlier, is she asking about reproducing Archer's swords? Well, I'm also surprised that I could do that, but it's not something that ought to earn me that look.
黙ってないで答えなさいよ。前に言ったわよね。俺が使える魔術は強化だけだって。
Yeah, he did say that.
いや、そうだけど、初めにできたのが東映で、そっちは効率が悪いから強化にしろって教えられたんだ。
No, you didn't tell her this.
こんなの言わなかったか、俺。
言ってない。頭に聞いてない。
Yeah, you didn't tell her. I love how he's like, oh yeah, I forgot all about it. Her glare intensifies. I really don't get why she's so angry with me.
じゃあ聞くけど、あなた投影魔術は今回が初めてじゃないのね。
ああ、そうなるかな。強化の鍛錬に失敗した時、仕切り直すためによくやってた。でもさっきみたいに役に立つものを投影できるわけじゃない。なんていうか、外見は似せられるけど中身は空っぽだったんだ。
中身は空っぽ？何？外観だけしか複製しないってこと？
It was clearly more than that if it took 30 parries.
いや、ちゃんと中身も考えてはいるんだけど、うまくいかなかった。
Yeah, you
だから
actually
自
managed
分で
it.
も驚いてる。イメージしたものは本物には及ばないんだけど、さっきのは真に迫ってたからな。
Yep.
じゃあエミヤ君、あなたは強化より先に投影を習得したってこと？
That is what he said, I
習
think.
得っていうよりそれしかできなか
Yeah,
ったんだ。
yeah.
親父はそれじゃ何の役にも立たないから目先を変えて強化にしろって。
そうね。私でもきっとそうさせたわ。
Sure.
でもおかしな話よね。アーチャーの剣をあれだけ長時間複製できるくせに普通のものは
Yeah,
投影
it's
で
the
きない。
the swords specifically because of the context of his dreams and whatever nonsense is going on with the swords.
属性が限られているのかな。
A narrow alignment. Yep. Yep.
汎用性はないけど、ある事柄に関してのみ優れた魔術師ってのもいるし。
Mm-hmm. I think there's a little more to it than that, but I generally agree, because obviously we've seen similar things involving other swords in the Fate route. She starts thinking out loud. Tohsaka doesn't try to look at me.
とりあえず今日は帰りましょう。
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
セイバーも自己回復に魔力を使ったようだし、休ませてあげないと。
Yep. And she goes home by herself just like that. Fair enough. There's no one at home. The hallway is dead silent. My ears might still be screwed up as I can't hear my own footsteps. The numbness in my limbs won't go away, and I don't feel the ground under my feet. Surprised that I can walk in this condition, I head straight to my room without conversation. Man, all the different transitions.
今日の鍛錬はなしにしよう。セイバーも疲れてるだろ。
Yeah, I think it goes without saying that we're skipping training tonight.
あんなひどい傷を負ったんだしさ。
Saber follows me to my room.
いいえ、私の方は問題ありません。回復のために魔力を消費しましたが、
Interesting.
まだ十分に補えるレベルです。それよりシロ、あなたの方こそ体に異常はないのですか？
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, like, the whole situation with, you know, Rin, because Rin's not, like, with us all the time and, like, teaching us magecraft and stuff, she didn't figure out what she figured out about us in the Fate route. So, you know, what Shirou, I mean, she didn't really understand it fully anyways, but what Shirou is even more of a mystery to Saber and Tohsaka in this route.
いや、別に大丈夫だぞ。
There's been this ringing, though.
筋肉痛みたいなものだし、明日になれば楽になってるさ。
わかりました。ですが、もし体が痛むようでしたら、声をかけてください。
Of course.
セイバーこそ、何かあったら起こしてくれ。夜分に腹が減ったんなら、夜食でも何でも作る。
I can't provide Saber with magical energies. The only thing I can do is make her food to cheer her up. Gotta make them sandwiches.
シロ、
Uh,
くれぐれも無理はしないよう
Which
に。
it's ironic I say that. Bro has literally never made a sandwich because this is Japan and sandwiches are outside of like at konbinis. Like you don't really see sandwiches much in Japan, to be honest. Like maybe like fast food places could have burgers, like you know, like Western style fast food places. But like, yeah, I mean, even like hambagu is like so. Even like they like to do the hamburger action like without the buns and stuff. There's not a lot of bread in Japan. You know, rice is obviously the starch of choice. She heads to the room next to mine.
そうだな。おとなしく寝るか。
Yep. I make my bed and lie down. My limbs still feel numb. It might be a side effect of magecraft that I'm not used to, but I feel ready to pass out.
なんだ。本当に。
I'm actually tired. The ringing in my ears bothers me, but it seems like I'll be able to sleep well for the first time in a while. Uh-oh. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, I don't think you're okay. Castor do something to us? It's also interesting the text is smaller too. Oh, not anymore. I claw at my futon. It feels like molten steel is coming up my throat. Interesting. Every muscle and bone in my body is screwed. A grinding sound echoes in my numb ears. The sound of creaking bones comes from within me. What is wrong with them? The bones in my limbs are splitting in complaint, and my ribs are squirming as if trying to burst through my chest muscles. Agony runs through my entire body. My body feels like it's being crushed by a massive vice from without, but the pain comes from within. I'm being crushed. I'm being pulled apart. On top of my bed, I squirm like a bug and try to bear the anguish. My forehead is hot. My brain must not be able to bear this pain. It burns like a sauna. I no longer care if this is compensation for using magecraft beyond me or if this is the abnormality that Saber warned me about. But for some reason, I don't want to call to Saber for help. I don't want to worry her over something like this. I have to handle it myself. Oh my god, bro. I desperately suppress every groan as I sweat profusely. The clock that I look over at absently is not even at midnight. It would be easier if I just go to sleep, but I'm sure this pain will wake me up even if I do so. I'm wondering if it's going to subside or if something's going to happen. I'm going into a daze. My consciousness is fading away. The pain should go away once the sun comes up. But until then, the fact that I have to bear this pain for 7 more hours is like a nightmare. It's an interesting way to look at it. We're going to get an interlude. Interesting. Alright. You have my attention. Interlude Jones, let's get it. What the fuck is this? Such a place was not pleasant. What the fuck is this? Frustration and delusion, envy and jealousy. This place, permeated with Stygian emotions, is cursed. Interesting. It should have been his, yet it was never used for him. I believe that's Shinji. He clicks his tongue, but this is all his delusion. A stranger's child spent a few years here and threatened the Mato lineage for the longest time. Interesting? Oh, you have my attention now. That's the only past he knows. His father never told him anything, but his grandfather let slip what happened here. His father did not choose him and thought of ending the Mato bloodline, but his grandfather wished for his lineage to continue. So he has no regard for his father. That makes sense. The one that brought him into being and taught him failure, while his grandfather brought him privilege and taught him superiority. Shinji laughs, wondering what his mother had given him. First of all, women are not needed in the Mato household. Yeah, that's unsurprising that that's your mindset. Based on what we've seen and heard. He heard that his mother was a carrier, but she must have become useless after she gave birth. Jesus. Something of his mother probably remained in this room. What the fuck? But he has no intention of searching for such a thing. Is this supposed to be like the Mato, like, mausoleum almost? He does not even want to see the organism that gave birth to his inferior self. Jesus Christ. There's so many layers to that, because obviously there's a layer of self-hate. He has a weird mix of self-hate and superiority going on. The basement is filled with decay. Strange insects cover the floor in the depths of the darkness. There should be no more nutrients to claim, but the insects still nest in this underground training area. Interesting. Underground training area? No. From the beginning, this is not a place to raise humans, but a place to raise insects. Okay. Swarms with black wings can be glimpsed in the black. In the dark, I guess. Even the shadows on the walls must be dark, slimy insects. In the midst of that, there is a man that gives off a golden shot. What? Do not tell me. Do not tell me that bro gave him Gilgamesh. Incongruous in this lowest of places. No way! What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Okay, so I actually low-key predicted that, I was like, Kirei's gonna give him a servant. I got the wrong... What is happening? The golden man, Archer, does not even look at the person who came down and just stares into the deep.
朗報だぜ。コトミネのやつ、僕らの行動には目をつむるってさ。見どころがあるやつだって思ってたけど、本当に使えるよな、あいつ。要するにさ、僕たちが何をやったって、お咎めなしってことだろ、それ。
Crazy how Shinji has become like Kirei and Gilgamesh's puppet, though. That is pretty funny. His voice is full of delight as he makes his way to Archer. Archer finally notices. The red eyes move.
いや、別に文句を言いに来たわけじゃない。君がどこで何をしていようと構わないさ。サーバントの自由意志ぐらい尊重するよ。僕は他の連中と違って猟犬が広いからね。
Sure. Shinji is overpowered by his red eyes, but he still approaches Archer. Even if Archer has an ominous presence, he is only a servant. Oh, that's cute. Bro, you have no idea what you're dealing with. Therefore, he maintains his arrogance. He shows deference, but still makes known who stands superior.
そうか。琴峰は随分とお前を買っているようだな。
I guess that's one way to look at it.
ああ、何でもじいさんには借りがあるんだって。得体の知れない三流枚寿司が残るより、僕のように歴史のある血筋が勝利すべきとか言ってたな。
I mean, that's funny given Kirei, but okay.
そんなの当然じゃないか。何を今更って気はするけど、まあ、人を見る目だけはあるよ。一応世話になったしさ。
Dude, this is so off the beaten path from the Fate route. Like, of all the things that could have happened in Unlimited Blade Works, this was the furthest thing from my mind. Shinji loses Rider and gets fucking Gilgamesh. Like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Like, what in the actual shit is going on? This is so cool. It's so weird. It's so stupid, and I'm here for all of it. Like, what the hell? Like, talk about peak. His joyful snicker echoes.
それじゃあ始めようか、アーチャー。もう人目を気にする必要もないんだ。手っ取り早く殺しまくってさ、じゃんじゃん魂を食べて強くなってよ。そうしたら、次はあいつらだ。目障りなセイバーを潰してエミヤにお礼をしないと。
Oh, I don't know how Gilgamesh feels about any of this shit, but I know that he's into the idea of having another meeting with Saber. He pats Archer on the shoulder. Archer watches his hand as if he's been touched by something unpleasant.
何？ほら、行くって言ってるんだよ、アーチャー。どこの英雄だろうが、サーバントってのはマスターの命令には絶対服従なんだろ。
He must have imagined making Saber submit to him and having his friend crawl on the ground. Ironic, given what Gilgamesh wants. He makes his orders with high spirits, but the golden man doesn't move.
シンジ、お前は聖杯というものを理解していない。
He calls his master by his name for the first time.
聖杯が欲しいのなら、他のマスターなど放っておけ。連中は所詮生贄に過ぎん。真に聖杯を手にするというのなら、先に抑えておくべきものがある。
Interesting.
先に抑えておくべきもの
Okay. The boy, Shinji Mato. See, I feel like with him is like I feel okay saying Shinji Mato as opposed to Mato Shinji, but I don't know. It's weird. It's certain names. It just doesn't flow with me. The boy, Shinji Mato, looks at his servant timidly. His feet shuffle back unconsciously, and the hand that was on Archer's shoulder is no longer there.
まずはそれを手に入れようか。俺は聖杯を手に入れるためにお前に力を貸している。で共通の目的は聖杯だけだからな。
Yes, obtaining the actual Holy Grail. This goes back to another thing from the Fate route.
お前の気持ちはわからんでもないが、復讐は気持ちがいい。快楽を求めるのは人の証だ。するべきことを済ませたのなら、お前の遊びにも付き合おう。
It's so interesting. Bro is being really passive, and he's acting a lot differently than really anything we've seen of Golden Archer in the Fate route. Yet amused with himself, Archer's lips curl in a smile. Sensing something brutal in it, Shinji finally feels some uneasiness about the servant's identity. The eighth servant. The heroic spirit that should not exist. The king of heroes, the strongest of them all. A survivor of the previous Holy Grail War.
そういえば聞いてなかったね。
Yep. Shinji attempts to maintain his feeling of superiority.
なんだ。聞けば答えるぞ、マスター。
マスター。
お前の望み、聖杯を手に入れたらさ、お前はどうしたいんだ、アーチャー。
It's a natural question. A half-immortal heroic spirit said to have owned all the treasures in the world. What could this man possibly desire now?
なんだ。そんなことも知らなかったのか?
Archer asks, surprised. He breaks into another smile from this new development.
我は豪勢なものを許す。装飾華美など最もめでるべきものだ。だが余分なものに与える意義などない。
Oh, that was really good. Oh, the Seiyu was cooking. That was really well. It's hard to even explain that, but it was like the flow of the words was so smooth. Like that was really well voice acted.
余分なもの？
昔の話なのだがな。10人の奴隷を選び、その中でいなくとも良いものを殺そうとしたことがある。
は？みんな奴隷なんだろう。
Interesting.
なら全員殺したんじゃないの？
いやいや、それがな、一人も殺せなかった。いかな人足とはいえ、
Sure.
無駄なものなどいなかったのだ。
Sure, that makes
か
sense.
つての世界には。
Yep. Archer shrugs his shoulders at the irony and steps forward. Yeah, because there's always some use for a person. In that position, you could always use them. Into the deep. He lifts his leg over the floor veiled in shadow.
だが、この世界には余分が溢れている。
Ha!
10人どころか、1000人という人間を選んだところで、殺せない人間など出てきまい。
An ironic contradiction of sorts.
まったく、恐ろしく人間に優しい世界になったものだ。
Fair enough.
わけわかんないな。結局何が欲しいんだよ、アーチャー。お前だって欲しいものがあるから、聖杯を手に入れようって言うんだろ。 なら
I think if you were listening, you might have understood. I think he kind of already told us here, Shinji. Archer doesn't answer. The golden man doesn't even turn to face the boy.
簡単な話だ。多いということは、それだけで気色が悪い。
And who would know that better than the man that coveted and acquired basically every treasure in the world? He lowers his foot into the deep darkness. A crunching sound. Crushed insects dot the dark floor, and more still swarm their corpses. Yep, and using the insects. Yeah, oh, that's so symbolic too, because you got Bro crushing the insects, which is, you know, the insects, of course, representative of humanity. Holy fuck. That was insane. This episode was psychotic. Holy good God. Yeah, we're going to save this real quick. Don't look at the whatever it says. And what are we going to get for the next episode? Strike lovers. Okay, I don't know what to make of that, but you have my attention. Holy guacamole, everyone. What the fuck? That might have been my favorite episode. I think that almost has to be my new favorite episode of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. We actually got through 2 days, which was awesome. We had a really uneventful, quick first day, which set us up to get a second day, which I feel like that second day was kind of probably in like the in the range of the episodes that we've been doing, because I feel like this episode, we should be a little over 3 hours right now. I think we're right around 3:10 or so. 3:10, 3:15, somewhere in there. But yeah, no. So like this episode's gonna be like a nice length. A little longer than the previous couple, but still like nothing too stupidly crazy. But yeah, no, that was awesome. Oh my God. Like it really was a rather uneventful first day that we covered in the early part of the episode, but the stuff we got to in the second day was absolutely brilliant. Oh my God. The build-up, I really enjoyed the build-up leading up to us ambushing Kuzuki, and then the actual like scene involving the fight between Kuzuki and Caster versus Tohsaka, Shirou, and Saber was insane. The reveal that Kuzuki is a fucking monster was just, oh my God, it was so cool. And like the fact that like they Caster and Kuzuki kind of have a reverse master-servant dynamic is, at least from a combat perspective, is super cool. Like just the whole setup to that was so awesome, and watching Saber just get absolutely flabbergasted and get her shit wrecked by a master was wild, to say the least. Obviously, a lot of that had to do with her being taken off guard, but it was still, that was easily one of the most badass things I've seen in Fate Stay Night up to this point, and I am so here for it. I love Soichiro. He is a fucking awesome badass. I love him. I love everything I've seen about his relationship and dynamic with Caster, and I want to learn more about it. I really hope we actually get more context on what their dynamic is like. That's something I want to see explored in this route, or if not in this route, certainly then in Heaven's Feel. One way or the other, I want to see more of that, and I'm really looking forward to it. That was so freaking cool. Oh my God, especially for a character that was literally a nothing burger in the Fate route. It's so cool to see all the stuff they've been doing with Kuzuki and Caster here in Unlimited Blade Works. It's been absolutely awesome. So yeah, that was awesome. That was so cool. And like the way they presented it with the Saber interlude was great. And then we get like, and then on top of everything else that happened, we get Shirou projecting the double swords, the yin and yang swords that Archer uses. And as if that wasn't crazy enough, bro, freaking Shinji gets a new servant from Kirei, and I'm like, okay, bro has Lancer now. That's interesting. And then we get another interlude at the end of this episode, and we find out that no, he didn't get Lancer. He got fucking Archer. And we all know that what that actually means Archer. Not Rin's Archer, the 8th servant Archer. Bro got the golden Archer. Bro got Gilgamesh up in this bitch. What in the actual fuck is going on? This is wild, this is weird, this is wacky, this is crazy, this is absolute fucking nonsense. I am here for all of it. This episode had so much great content. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode so much. I'm excited I get to share it with you guys in basically in a day, because yeah, it'll be going up in about 28 hours, because it's so you guys will get to see this pretty soon. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. I think this was just such a fantastic episode of Fate. And yeah, I feel like they said the word Fate quite a few times in this episode too, which is kind of funny. We were getting the title drop a few times, but yeah, I mean, this was just incredible. I mean, what else is there to say? Like, so engaged. We didn't lose anyone. There was nothing decisive happened. And the ironic thing is, while Ryder's out of the picture, every master is still in play right now, because obviously Shinji has fucking Gilgamesh now. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what they are cooking there, but I'm excited to watch it play out. It's going to be really interesting, to say the least. Like I said, what a weird but unique and interesting turn of events. Here I thought Shinji was going to be out of this thing, and nah, they were like, nah, we got another plan for Shinji, bro. Nah, let us cook. And apparently they are fucking cooking, because that was just absolutely psychotic. But like I said, I'm here for it. That was amazing. I loved it. Fantastic episode of Unlimited Blade Works. Probably my favorite episode of what has already been just a great route. But like I said, I mean, this was just absolutely fantastic. There was so much awesome shit compacted into this episode, which is crazy because, and maybe I should have expected it, because we had that really quick first day, because we actually got through 2 days instead of 1 in this episode. We had that really quick first day, and where nothing happened, I was like, okay, let's see what we get up to tomorrow then. And they built it up like we were going to confront Kuzuki, but little did I know that was... 1, that was going to be as insane as it was, but 2, there was going to be other insane stuff unrelated to that was also going to happen in this day. So, just what an action-packed, awesome day and awesome episode overall of Fate Stay Night. I had so much fun with this. I hope you guys enjoyed my reactions, for lack of a better word, to this episode, because I had so much fun with it. This was awesome. And there was also the moment where we got a Rin perspective for like 5 minutes, and the reveal that she's having the dreams about Archer and all that, and I was freaking out for a second. Like, are we gonna get a whole day in Rin perspective? I would have nutted for that, but unfortunately that was not the case. There were so many little moments in this episode too. Like, that kind of goes to the fact that, like, even just throughout the episode, there were just so many little moments, and a surprising lack of Archer in this episode. Despite getting a couple Archer dreams, there was very little Archer in this episode. It was very we were most of as far as like our stuff, it was mostly Saber, Shirou, and Tohsaka in this episode. Like I said, very little Archer action, which is interesting, again, given the context of this, of where it feels like we're going with Archer, clearly going to play a huge part in this route. It's interesting how kind of uninvolved he was in this episode and all the action that went down in it. I'm curious how he'll feel about everything that went down. Obviously, we might not get to see all of that, all of the details of that, given the fact that obviously, again, this story is through Shirou's perspective as opposed to Rin's, but it's just really interesting stuff all around. I had an absolute great time watching this. I hope you guys... I say watching this, technically playing. We even got some Tiger Dojos in as well, so that was cute. But yeah, including a severed head Rin Tiger Dojo, which was pretty ridiculous. But yeah, this was an awesome episode of Fate Stay Night. I absolutely loved it. I hope you guys did as well. I am loving Unlimited Blade Works right now. It has just been absolutely fantastic. And I'm just so excited to keep going. Like, it's just every episode has been a banger, it feels like. Since basically the beginning. I mean, the first episode was a nothing burger, but that was just like a maintenance episode. But pretty much everything since that has been really solid. We've had a lot of really good stuff, and it's been, like I said, it's been really well paced, and it's been a great time all around. So yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. I'm really happy with everything we got in this episode. I'm really excited to see how they follow up with all this. And now, again, most of the, I mean, there's still reveals there's still reveals as far as like, the characters in the story, not knowing them. But as far as the servant and master related reveals go, we have basically gotten all of them except for Ryder and Caster's identities, like their true names. I think we have, and Archer, of course, Archer, yeah. I wasn't even, like, Archer I know is going to be in this route. There's no, like, that's obviously going to be in this route, so I almost derped on that. But yeah, I think it's just Ryder and Caster and Archer's true names are basically the only master and servant related reveals. Which is crazy that we're, like I said, that we're presumably, like, yeah, we're still theoretically somewhat early into the Unlimited Blade Works route, and the only reveals we have left in theory are the 3 true names, one of which is definitely happening in this route. I don't know if we're going to get Caster in this route. We are obviously not getting Ryder's true name until Heaven's Feel. That is very obvious, given the fact that Ryder's already out of the story, but we are obviously getting Archer in this one, so it really just comes down to whether or not we get Caster's true name in this route or not, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, regardless of the fact that they don't have that many of the master-servant related reveals left to give us, I am so excited to watch this play out. I'm so excited to see where we go with this, and it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm thrilled. I am so excited for more Unlimited Blade Works. This has been absolutely fantastic. You know, Fate is awesome, but I will say, again, like, the first portion of Unlimited Blade Works has been stronger than the first portion of Fate. Now, I feel like as you get deeper in, that was where the Fate route really, like, hit another gear when it got to its really emotional points. But I definitely think just beat for beat, Unlimited Blade Works is so far has been surpassing it. So really interesting stuff all around, but I'm very excited to call it a day here, and we'll jump back in next time to see what happens next in Unlimited Blade Works. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. So if you want to support the channel, the Patreon's down below in the description. But without any further ado, it is time for me to bid you adieu. Flamin' Shark signing out. Hope you have a wonderful, fantastical day. I'll see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace.